Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is December 1st, 2019. My name is Eric Peters, and joining me today, Mr. Tom Ragan.
Hey there, son.
Hello, father.
How's it going?
Are you my real dad?
I've always been your real dad. It's just you need to believe it.
Anyone can be your real dad if you try hard enough.
May not be biologically, but I did raise you. Taught you what you know.
We got Mr. Dan Curtis.
Hey there, Uncle Eric.
Hey there, my little niece.
We're all related.
We're all inbred. That's where I got my 3 eyes from.
Inbred, like within a loaf of bread?
Yes. No, don't start the bread thing again. We've went down the bread rent thing before.
Yeah, it's true. Did you ever see that? The thing where people would put bread on their cats' faces. Did you ever go through that phase?
Where did that go?
What?
Yeah, they'd take a piece of bread, cut the middle out, shove it over their cat's face, like, oh, my cat's inbred.
So it was like a bread frame for a cat.
But just imagine like super chonky cats just with that stupid face.
Funnily enough, that's how we also do our pictures in Het. We just take slices of bread and use them as a frame
because they're so
until they biodegrade and then just replace.
Extra uses out of bread. I like it.
Serves as dinner too.
It goes proper still, it's pretty rigid. Got a nice bit of crusty bread. Lovely. Hangs any picture. Who needs IKEA, am I right?
Hardtack, delicacy of Het.
Now, if only I can work out how nails work.
How is everyone?
I'm splendid, sir. How are you?
Spiffing.
I'm good. I'm a little cold, hence the blanket.
Yeah, I was going to ask what the... are you ready for a boxing match or something?
It's my man bat cape.
We're getting a boxing match.
I don't want to take the gloves off. They're sealed. Sealed to my wrists.
He would really struggle because he can only do body shots because he can't punch upwards like Mega Man.
He's my hero.
Yes. I'm good.
I think I do okay in a boxing match.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the
Against
range.
Against
You're
who?
tall.
Oh, I am lanky as all hell.
Yeah.
And Tom's right. I got the range.
Let us not forget his highly athletic background. I mean, girls, hold yourself back when you see the pictures.
Mike could be good. He's got the name.
He does have the name. He's already got that going for him.
He could just lean into it big time.
What do you mean I'm not Mike Tyson? I could hold my own, Dan.
First factory sealed deathmatch.
Well, not a death match.
Oh, we could be like those YouTubers that had a boxing match. Did you read about that?
No.
But with infinitely less traction.
Yes. Like these two YouTuber guys had a feud over the last year, and then they had boxing match 2 because they already had.
I think it was like with the
last year.
biggest sporting event in the world or something.
It was bigger than like the real heavyweight champion boxer defending his title or something. It was kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I'm
it was
serious.
KSI and Paul Logan, I think.
Paul Logan.
I think
that guy's kind of a...
I think they're going to have a rematch.
Logan Paul.
They are probably going to have a third match because they're making so much money.
Who's got the surname Paul? I mean, come on. What a dude.
The dude's got 2 first names.
Says me whose surname is Curtis.
Yes.
Even though they're YouTubers, they are pretty well built. They kind of look like they could be boxers if they were in a different life.
But instead, they scream into a microphone.
Yeah.
Man, 24 years old.
Jesus.
More dollary dues than we'll ever have.
What did we do with our lives?
This.
This.
That's the thing, Eric. This was officially classed as a professional boxing match
But are they professional boxers?
No.
I can't imagine, like, if you were to watch that next to a real boxing match, that you would see any parallels. It's probably just two dudes street fighting.
Well, that's what I thought. I didn't watch any of it, but I don't know.
I assume they probably trained, Eric. They probably didn't just go in there and just slap each other and...
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. I think we need to go back to the 1700s version of dueling with white gloves. Somebody gets on your tits, you whip out the white glove and just slap them across the face. Meet me at high noon on the hill behind the school.
Let me just unearth my dueling pistols.
Dueling?
Dueling.
Two pistols warring with each other. Get back into my hands.
It's all kicking off between the pistols, Tom. Where is heavyweight champion of the world anyway, Mike Tyson?
Well, isn't this like the 7th time he's supposed to have moved?
Yeah, he's not moving, is he?
He's
Guys won't be on the show. Got to move next week. All right.
I'm deeply shocked that a new built house in England is not ready on time. That never happens.
Yeah.
Spoilers, it does.
Wait, is he
all the time?
Is he actually moving this week?
He said it, I asked him yesterday and I've promptly forgot what he said, but he did say it is before Christmas, I believe. Because he wasn't having doubts whether he would be on the Resident Evil 4 episode.
No, he cannot afford to miss that show.
He really can't, but he might not be here at this rate, because moving house is quite the affair.
It is.
Can
you imagine,
not.
Eric, if you moved all of that stuff behind you?
We're actually talking about moving.
Yeah.
Dude, this neighborhood is going down the shitter.
I hear het is lovely this time. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
God.
going down the shitter.
Literally every day we've got the police chopper doing circles somewhere, and we've got that Ring doorbell and neighborhood community app where people will be like, I just heard 12 gunshots go off. What the hell's going on?
Super.
Well, I think,
but I don't think it's as bad as Tom's neighborhood, where I read that article yesterday where there was somebody in Toronto literally walking around throwing feces on people.
Yeah, but that dude he looked happy. Like, Canadians just generally are happy. And this dude was committing crimes and throwing shit on people and just smiling the day away.
So you'll ship yourself down to Tucson?
No.
Be near Grandma?
No. Tucson's old and dirty.
Hey, don't let Grandma hear you say that.
Grandma!
You're old and dirty.
You belong in Tucson.
No. We just want to move a little further east, but oh God, the thought of packing all this shit up.
Oh my God.
Maybe it's worth it.
Imagine if something factory sealed got ripped in transit.
Oh God. That'd be the first thing I would box up.
Dude, actually, roll this back. You are reluctant to not pack things up. You love packing things up.
No, I don't like unpacking things.
Yeah, well,
like
don't unpack them. Just have a sealed house in East.
Perfect.
Where East is very vague, I must say.
We're moving east. What, New York City, or
it's kind of like the opposite.
It's the house directly to the east. We're just moving there.
Opposite of westward expansion. We're going east.
We're buying next door's house. They're making too much noise.
Go closer to the sun.
If I bought the house on either side of me, I'd burn them down.
You should do that anyway, just for fun.
Nah.
I mean, surely your houses just go up straight away. Have been built entirely of wood and hopes and dreams, and
yeah, not like brick. That's cold.
Well, brick is cold.
I'd rather be slightly chilly than burn to death.
Debatable.
Says the man who is draped in his boxing kit because he's chilly today.
You don't even want to see how long this blanket is. It is obscene how big this blanket is.
Just say idiot on the back.
Yes. It's my cocoon.
You look like you've walked out of a hospital ward.
They let me loose for the day, fellas. I got day release.
Day release.
If you want to see how fucking stupid you look, subscribe on Patreon, $5.
Yeah.
You also get to enjoy Tom freezing in place and looking like a creep. Briefly.
Yes, this does happen to the. I would say to the best of us, but just me, it seems.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't happen.
Just when there's a camera present. You look
Honestly,
normal most
I don't know
of the time.
how I get some of those poses. Some of these photos of me that go out there of me just freeze.
That one at Mike's wedding, man, is the creepiest thing in the world.
I don't even know how I could contort my face like that. Why would I be so upset or angry or resentful or what? Why would I feel that way?
The fact that
it was a happy day.
The fact that Kat looked the way she did, as well as you looking the way you did, is just the universe coming together.
That I was about to say. There's some sort of snapshot in time where something happened. Something collided with something in the cosmos.
I'm super excited for your wedding photos. They're going to be so much fun.
So am I.
I really think that we need to stage some sort of like groomsman serial killer pose next to a pond.
Why don't
Tom.
Why don't we get masks made of Tom's face on that one?
Tom,
on that picture?
Is there a lake anywhere near where you're getting married? Because hear me out. I think that we need a picture of you with Kat over your shoulder walking towards the lake.
Can you imagine? Like the last photo, so that I'm
and
actually
you just
waiting.
Looking over your shoulder.
There's no lake, but I don't think, but there probably is a body of water nearby.
The
I
white
don't think Kat realizes how much we're going to destroy this wedding.
No, we're going to improve it.
But she's probably picturing a picturesque, nice wedding with no crazy people like trying to drag her over her shoulder into a lake and the sort of nonsense. And probably not 4 idiots trying to straddle whatever the hell we can find. So we've got a group straddle picture.
It may be a year away, but I've already started working on my speech.
One thing I'm excited for, I did get an excellent photographer. He's a really good friend of mine, and he's just, I don't know how he does it.
Have you given him fair warning?
I haven't yet, but like I know that I can just say, hey, we're gonna be straddling this here wall. You okay with that?
Make sure that lighting's good.
Take a light reading.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
What's
the countdown? 9 months?
Jesus, 9 months, yeah.
Good.
It's now the 1st of December. Oh my god, that's come around quickly. Yeah, we don't have we've planned a pretty decent whack of it now. I think we're doing all right for time. Yeah. I need to get a suit though.
Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah.
90% of what you need to do will be done in the last 3 days. It's like, well, why did I spend the past year stressing about this shit? I can do it in the last 10 minutes.
It's true. I'm not gonna worry about it now.
We are planning some extravagant shit for your Stagler do.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Care to share or not really?
Oh god, no, we can't. It's gonna be a surprise.
No, that's the tradition. You're supposed to share it.
Nope. No, you're not. Nope. Nope, not doing it.
No.
Not gonna do it.
Oh god.
So yeah. Other than that.
Sounds excellent.
What else is new with everybody?
What else could possibly be
Good
new?
God, we are a thrilling bunch.
We're okay.
What's
we're
new?
good.
A duck moved slightly to the left on the pond last week.
A slight breeze came through.
Ruffled some feathers, Just is that right?
Oh,
just
good
been busy.
We all stood on the lake shore and cheered. It was beautiful.
And then got a long stick, and pushed the duck back to where it was. Don't move.
Damn it, Willard. Stay in place.
That's too much progression for us. Move back there.
We are going to stay stuck in time.
No, it's been a really
next
busy
thing you know, the
time.
goddamn millennials will be moving in. Stay there, duck.
Gentrification of pet.
First the ducks. What's next? I'm sorry, you were busy with something.
Oh my god! Well, the thing is, right? Catherine decided to take part in that thing where you have to write a whole novel in 1 month. It's called NaNoWriMo.
What does that stand for?
I don't actually know.
Small writing.
November something writing.
Mouth?
You have to write 50,000 words in a month.
That's a lot of words.
She did it.
I don't even know 50,000 words.
Me neither, but she did it.
Did she?
Yesterday, she actually finished it.
What?
Wow, well done.
Yeah, she's been out a lot doing that. So I've been busy.
Jacking it.
I wish. I fucking wish. No, looking after. I got 2 cats now.
Oh,
all the other housework.
Yeah, that's right. You're back in your room. I see the cat box back there.
Yeah, I'm taming a feral cat. I thought he was a stray. Nope,
Straight
from
feral.
the streets. Yeah, it's actually going pretty well.
Yeah?
He's coming out of his shell. He's doing all right. He's not aggressive. Very meek.
Neo's putting him in his place.
Yeah,
Giving him
yeah,
the old 1-2 biff.
He gives him a few of these. I'm doing the old paw in the face motion.
Hell yeah.
You know, and the other cat doesn't do anything back. He's like, yeah, fair enough, dude. Not my house.
Your house. I'm just a guest here. I'm gonna go
Better than
shit-
outside.
I'm gonna go
Is
shit.
that
in the
why
corner.
Eric was doing that to me when I stayed?
Yep.
I did wonder.
I just lay on the side of the couch, and then as anybody walks by, I just biff them, assert my dominance.
It's funny watching cats do that.
Oh, it's so fun.
But yeah, he's doing fine. He's all right.
What's his
He'll get
name?
there. Spooky.
Spooky.
But you can't stroke him. You can only stroke him with a stick from afar. He's happy with that.
So you can poke
He
him.
doesn't. But if he sees your hand, he he gets a bit skittish. Yeah, I think he was probably hurt by a human as a young cat.
Oh, I hope he can get over that because it seems a bit pointless not to stroke a cat.
Yes,
This
I
here's
hope
my
so too.
ornamental cat. We don't touch him. We just look
Especially
at him.
for Thomas J. Reagan over here who
I
likes
know.
to carry cats around like scarves.
It is very, very hard for me, but at least I have Neo to carry around. But apparently, if you try and pick up a feral cat, it's ingrained into them that they think they're being captured by the jaws of a predator. So that's why they go mad when you try and pick him up. So I'll never be able to pick him up because it's too baked in that he thinks I'm going to kill him.
Give me an afternoon with him. I'll change him.
I don't know what you did to Ratchet, but that cat thinks it's a dog. So
Yeah.
I'm going to pick you up, and you're going to like it. This game is called I Win, and the only outcome is me winning.
When units come to Toronto.
poor Felix with his male pattern baldness.
Male pattern baldness and snot rockets.
Ugh. Yeah. But hey, at least he has a home and he's warm. I don't know how he survived a winter here. Like, that's impressive. The cat's got survival skills. I don't even spend time outside.
It was meant to be.
Oh, yeah.
Give it about 2 more weeks, and Tom will just be in a cocoon like Eric with his boxing cape on. Just won't leave the house for the rest of the winter.
It's getting
That's
Batten
why he was
down the
stocking up on
hatches.
cream 4 weeks ago, or whatever
Hell yeah.
it was.
Batten down the hatches. It's winter's coming.
It's getting cold down here. I mean, we're in the 50s during the day.
What's that in real temperature?
What's that in real temperature? Yeah.
Well, considering that Fahrenheit is far more accurate for measuring
Oh,
temperature,
here we go. Here we go.
because
I'm afraid I still don't accept it as real, unfortunately.
we don't have to use point. Like 20.3, we'll just say 21. I don't
No.
know what it is. Maybe,
It's -2 here today.
what's that in real temperature?
It's 0 degrees here today, so it's chilly here. So.
I don't even know what that is in Fahrenheit. -2.
Where the chat with factory sealed.
-2 is 28.4, but we don't use
There you go.
point, so we'd round down.
It's weird in the UK. We use Celsius all of the time, apart from in summer when we have record temperatures, and then they go, it's over 100, and like, no, it isn't, because we don't use Fahrenheit.
Just sounds
God, if you
better.
did over 100 in Celsius, that'd be 212 Fahrenheit.
Toasty.
Which is, it's
We're all
apparently you could-
dead.
Would you survive in 212?
No.
That's in Arizona summer, right?
No, but how long would you be? How long could you be outside for in 212?
Precisely
before you-
0.
Hey, if Solid Snake can survive a microwave tunnel, we can survive that, all right? We can do it.
Yeah, but we don't have nanomachines.
Good point.
Yeah.
Or do we?
Right. Google, what does 212F feel like?
Death. Hot death. Open your oven as it's preheating to put in your biscuits. And that's what it feels. Are we really Googling this on the show?
Tom is.
Apparently it would be actually boiling.
You know how
you
know how when you listen to other podcasts, you can tell where they've cut out bullshit? This would be something that's cut. But nope, not us. We leave it in.
And that's why people love us, my friend.
Yeah. Come
We
here
offer
for
a
the video
service.
games and to find out what it feels like to be burned alive.
Sorry, I was just getting inquisitive.
Just go to Het and start talking about medicine.
You'll be burned as a witch before you know.
Then you'll be put on the annual bonfire.
They got loads of herbs over there.
They do have herbs.
We do have crops near
I
us.
wonder if they have a guy named Herb.
Probably. I have news, by the way, about Het.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, the man who produced Het Happenings has passed away.
Zach
It's very
Foley,
sad.
time to step in.
So there is a market for a new person.
I dare you to step up. I dare you.
I was going to say, Dan, you
Dude,
favor a bit.
honest to God, right? I've wanted to redo that thing so many times because it drives me crazy how bad it is.
Just prints it and then staples it in the corner.
Could you do it like on the side as a side gig?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Would they pay you?
Probably not.
Well, maybe take like $5 off your rent.
Nothing happened. He used to produce a 19-page document with nothing in it. It just said nothing.
Yeah, but imagine the stuff. Imagine the mundane shit that you could write about. Just like a new
duck move slightly to the left.
A new seedling has sprouted in the community planter.
Dan, is it a quarterly magazine?
It's whenever he got round to it magazine, I think.
Is it really whenever he got around to it?
Yes. It had.
Well,
it
that's
had.
all right then.
I'm not kidding, right? It had. I know in Britain we talk about the weather far too much, but it had an entire, usually about 3/4 of a page about het weather. I was like, I know, I live here, I lived it, I know what the weather was like.
Oh, what, past weather?
Yes.
No, so here's what we can do. Here's stick with me on this. We got to play the long game on it, okay? You take over Het Happenings, and you just slowly, I mean, it's got to be slow because I think the people there are a little resistant to change. So we slowly start changing the overall tone of Het, and then once it starts to become more commonplace, we take over the town.
Rename it Factory Sealed.
Yes.
Is there any ad space to put factory sealed stuff in there?
I mean, I will
Why not?
gladly throw $5 a month at Happenings just so we can say that we are advertising.
There's usually a terribly scanned version of a poster from PowerPoint which somebody's put in there with everything off the edges and things like that.
I will send you a
There's definitely room for an advert of our caliber.
Well, get on it. Is there a mayor in Het? Because you should run for mayor.
Oh yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I like to think I'm the de facto mayor.
Just because you're the youngest
In
person there.
that nobody knows who I am.
Probably the
What's
best
the
way.
population? 50?
It's bigger than you think.
Minus a
Oh.
0.
Big enough for a newsletter that comes out whenever they want to bring it out.
I believe the Het Christmas party's coming soon as well.
Oh, God,
my
that's
God.
going to be a banger.
That's a bar nails.
Good old fashioned hootenanny.
Oh, God. Should we get on to some video game stuff?
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Did you guys pick anything up the past couple weeks?
Yes.
Because we've had Black Friday.
I only picked up a couple things so far.
Tell me about them. I want to hear them. What are they?
I jumped onto the eShop and I grabbed myself Batman, The Enemy Within, the Telltale sequel to the first Telltale Batman
Who?
game.
Good choice.
Who?
Good choice.
Man
Man
Bat.
Bat.
Okay.
That was about
Press
$5.
square to win. You know it. You know it.
I also picked up that RPG Earthlock.
Yeah, 80%
well.
off.
80% off. I think it was about 7 or 8 Canadian Moose dollars. And so I thought...
It was 5 eagle beaks and 94 talons.
Thought I'd roll the dice with that one. I haven't tried it or anything.
So, interestingly enough, about that game, real quick.
It's on Wii U, right? Was it a Wii U game?
Yes. Yeah, it was a Wii U game. You and I kind of stumbled upon it at the same time. And it has a demo, which most RPG demos are hey, here's the little beginning. Then right as the game starts to open up, that's where the demo ends. Apparently, this demo comprises about 25% of the game. They introduce you to 5 of the 6 playable characters, all of the major game mechanics.
Wow!
So it's quite a lengthy demo.
So you're sort of paying
quite
to
an
unlock
impressive
the story.
demo.
But the game itself is really only between 16 and 20 hours long, which is perfect for my budget for RPGs at the time.
I want to say that Dragon Quest 11 had a pretty generous demo as well.
Yeah, 10 hours.
Yeah. And the Octopath Traveler demo wasn't too bad either.
I think that's a very clever thing to do, though, for an RPG, because if you've already invested that much time, that probably means you're enjoying it and will then buy it.
Yeah.
So if you'd only spent like half an hour in it, maybe not so much.
I don't know. That's kind of. I was okay with Octopath Traveler. I only needed to play a little bit of that.
Yeah. But it is definitely a good way to get people hooked in. What else did I pick up? I didn't pick up anything else yet. I'm on the fence about a few things. I saw they brought Modern Warfare down to like $50.
Mm-hmm. It was 38 here on Friday.
38? Wow,
that's cheap. I was in the shop today and I saw Anthem for £5. I was like, nope.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I couldn't even for $10. I couldn't even pick that up.
I can't believe that's down to £5 already. What a shit show! That only came out a few months ago.
I forgot all about that game.
And that E3 hype for 2 or 3 years was just monstrous.
What have they done to BioWare, man? What have they done?
I don't know.
Damn. What did you guys pick up?
I picked up
syphilis,
chlamydia. Thank you. I'm drawing a blank here. What's the?
He's bought so much.
Team Sonic Racing. I was trying to think of the kart racer I picked up. Ellie's gotten really big into playing kart racing, so we picked up Team Sonic. I finally found a copy of Greedfall for PS4 in the wild. That was $30. So kind of excited to give that one a shot. Kind of a harken back.
Is that the one that's kind of like a BioWare thingy?
Yeah, kind of a harken back to the old good BioWare games.
Yeah.
It's like a pirate / colonialism game.
Yeah, I heard it was all right.
I picked up the Baldur's Gate 2 remasters for the Switch and Collection of Mana for the Switch.
So, as you said on Facebook, essentially loads of games that you don't have time to play.
I started playing Baldur's Gate though last night, and holy crap, they have done just an amazing job porting that to a console. I was really concerned about how that was going to work, but because if you don't know anything about the original Baldur's Gate, it is true isometric point and click RPG. And they've done a really good job with adjusting the control scheme where you can switch between having your movement mapped to the left stick and using traditional point and click. And it's extremely clever how they've made it work on a console. So now that I have it on Switch, I'll probably have quite a bit better chance of playing through that again. Although I think Baldur's Gate 2, you can easily dump 200 hours into.
If you go for the point and click method, does the cursor run on a small grid?
Cursor stays in the center of the screen. So you basically are moving the screen around, which is a lot easier because then you don't need to move the cursor to the edge of the screen to move the screen.
Nice.
So it does work really cool.
That's clever.
That is good.
I got some digital stuff. I picked up Earthlock. I picked up Cat Quest finally. That was $5. Dude, what a sweet little dungeon crawler. That game is so damn cute.
It really is.
And for
it's
$5,
very cute.
Oh.
Full of cat puns and silliness, but it is actually genuinely a pretty sweet little dungeon crawling game.
Yeah, it's not super deep.
Yeah.
And it's not super long either. I think I'm already about halfway through it.
Yeah.
I think it's only 6 hours.
it is worth that price point. I think any more than $5 and.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for Cat Quest 2 to come down before I jump into that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. I also got... I knocked 3 big games off of my Working Designs collection.
Oh, this is because a new store opened, was it?
This was a painful day. Yeah, so one of the stores that I shop at down here that sells some of my artwork, they've been stockpiling to open a new store. And a couple weeks ago, I was in, and they said that they had purchased one of the largest private gaming collections they'd ever come across, and it came out of Flagstaff, Arizona. And this guy was getting elderly, and his wife was making him sell off his collection. They just didn't have room for it anymore, and he wasn't really interested in collecting anymore. And his wife kind of brokered everything, and he was a massive Sega collector. Had probably the largest collection of Saturn and Sega CD games in damn near gradable condition, and PlayStation 1 RPGs, boxed NES, Super Nintendo stuff. They picked up so much stuff, and they said that they were going to have all of it available at their new store. So I made sure to book a bunch of appointments on that side of town that day so I could be over there when they opened, and walk in, and they just have bins. They'd set a bunch of good stuff aside for me because I told them kind of what I was looking for, but I knocked off 3 of the bigger Working Designs RPGs. They had for Sega CD a copy of Vi, which is kind of an interesting little RPG, cross between your traditional knights and...
I've never heard of these games, Working Designs. You don't even know what they are.
Well, it's just they're a localization team. So they took a bunch of Japanese RPGs and localized them to North America. I don't know how many of them actually came to Europe, though, but, Alundra, the Lunar games, those might be your... Yeah, those are probably going to be the most well-known. But, Vi is...
Which one was Alundra? I can't remember.
Alundra was the Zelda-like. It played a lot like Link to the Past.
A bit like Link to the Past.
Oh, with the Prince of Persia guy, no? No, that was...
Alundra is the sequel to Landstalker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know I've played it. I can't remember it at all.
Yeah, we did. I think we played it for the show.
You two did a show. We
didn't finish it because it's like 35 hours long. It's huge.
No, you did it in 2. You did. You both finished it, I think.
No,
but it was a 2-parter.
Nope. I've never finished it.
I think you did, because you'd never finished it before, and you finished it.
Maybe I'll have to go back and listen to it. But, I picked up Vi for...
I remember this shit.
And then 2 games, they're not super hard to find, but in complete condition, they are extremely difficult to find. The Lunar PS1 Complete Editions for Lunar 1 and 2. These are single-handedly the most pristine copies I have ever seen. Typically, when you see them out in the wild, the boxes are all beat up. They're either missing the map or the pendant. I think Lunar 2 has these little tiny 1-inch by 1/2-inch standee cards that who knows how many are supposed to be in there, and chances are some of them are missing or they're all missing. This thing seemed like it had just had the wrapper taken off and nothing was ever touched. The little pendant was still in its protective paper inside the pouch. That had never been taken off. The map had never been opened. Those little standee cards were still sealed. There was so much sealing going on there. I was like, I need these. I need them in my life. So the only frustrating thing was that Vi, this guy, for being as big of a collector as he was, on some of his games, wrote on them with Sharpie. And I didn't realize it till I was checking out that Vi had a P on the disc. I'm like, guys, this sucks. But I've never seen a copy of Vi. It had a map. The map had some writing on it, which I'm typically okay with, like handwriting within a manual or on a map, because it kind of adds a little bit to the history of the game, shows that somebody played it, that they loved it.
Yeah. God forbid.
But when you write on the outside of the case or the manual or that's just super unnecessary. And I figured I could probably get the marker.
You looked at all your games on your shelf recently, by the way. I may have done that while I was over.
I haven't. No, I'll kill you.
It was to a select few. Yeah. They were very obscure ones.
But I figured I could get the P off of the disc. And then as I got out to the car, I realized that there's a P on the manual. Like, this sucks. Fortunately,
trying to get it off, maybe.
yeah. So fortunately, on the disc, what you can do to get Sharpie off is you take an Expo marker or a dry erase marker and just lightly cover over it and then quickly wipe it off. I don't know what it does, but the Expo marker absorbs the Sharpie and wipes it off.
Those Expo markers are amazing.
Yeah.
We have a few in our house. They're really good for getting marks off walls and stuff.
Yep.
I don't know how
Interesting.
how the hell they work. Yeah.
But I did get the P off of the cover mostly. Apparently that marker had been on there for a while, so it kind of absorbed into the grain of the paper. But the outside of those manuals are really shiny and smooth, so it's not just like typical paper. And I had to be really careful about how hard I was rubbing because it was starting to break down the grain of the paper.
Oh, yeah.
So I did get it off to the point where you can't really see much of it. Like if you're looking for it, you can tell it was there, but a manual is much cheaper to replace than the disc.
Yes. Yeah,
so
that's true.
Those were the 3 big games that I knocked off my list.
Yeah. Maybe it was a previous owner that had done that if the other games you bought didn't have that.
It could have been, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody decided to initial.
What just kills me
reason.
is how expensive North American RPGs are versus their Japanese counterparts. Like I picked up Lunar 2 on Saturn in Japanese for like $15.
Yeah.
And here in North America,
it was more
100
prevalent. It was more prevalent over there, wasn't it? You said so. That's why.
Yeah,
There's more copies.
It's strange, but even when I was in Japan a couple of years ago, they still had brand new copies of Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. Like, as in they were actually freshly new. They weren't like sealed collector's items. They were new games.
Jesus.
Like, granted, they were like the greatest hits label or the platinum label or whatever. But yeah,
I'm afraid.
I don't know. It's completely different over there. And
I'm
all the
afraid
games
for
are
the time I finally go
cheap.
to Japan, it's gonna be excessive.
Yeah, I wouldn't even pack a suitcase. Just take your suitcases with you.
I'll just
take an empty suitcase.
Yeah, I'll take an empty suitcase with bubble wrap in it.
Yes.
I don't think I've picked up anything this past couple of weeks at all. I've been trying to get through backlog of Death Stranding in particular, getting through that.
Well, Tom, I sent you a game.
You did. You sent me on the Nintendo DS. Radianti.
Oh,
Hysteria.
Pronounce it right.
That sounds about right to me.
You hillbilly.
I know how to pronounce things.
Radiant Hysteria. History. It's made by Atlas and it's E for everyone. I still can't get used to that.
Everyone can play it.
Yeah, Radiant Historia on the DS. This is an RPG that I've had my eye on for a while, but I've never actually played it. Eric very kindly sent me a copy.
Because I have had 4 copies of it.
Do you actually have a DS, Tom?
I do. I have a DS Lite with it, and the hinges are still very much intact.
No, you have the 3DS too.
But can that play these as well?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Isn't it, Dan? Yeah.
It's a bit nifty. I like it.
Yeah.
Backward compatibility and all that.
I will say that it is also complete,
I wouldn't have picked it up if it weren't.
including the warranty booklet thing too, which is a nice touch.
I don't do anything halfway.
No.
Warranty might have expired, but
Yeah, that's true. Probably just add a little bit of Goo Gone in the corner there, and then we're good.
Yeah.
just put a T on the front so everybody knows it's yours, and then we're done.
Make sure you do it on the paper, not on the outside of the case.
Yeah.
No, that is an RPG that I recommend to anyone who's got a DS or 3DS pick up because it is super cool.
Is it just like classic turn-based Final Fantasy style, or is it a bit more Tales like, or a Ni no Kuni like?
A bit more classic, but the crux of it is your time traveling. So you're going back and forth between different not dimensions, but timelines.
Next
so
November,
basically Chrono Trigger.
This time next year, it will be show eligible.
Ooh.
I mean, I might.
I sense a revision to the list.
How long is that?
Dude, it looks really good.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I
hadn't looked at screenshots for a while.
I have the 3DS remaster, but I didn't open it.
I don't think we've played a DS game for the show.
I I think we have, but only one.
It's
Oh,
only
God, it's
25
30.
hours.
No, I think it's 35.
Well, why does perfect chronology, they've streamlined it.
Yeah, maybe that might be a bit too heavy. That might be one for me.
Yeah. Yeah, just one for little Tom.
And I'll tell you all about it in 2021.
Okay. Dan, you were saying that you finished something.
Yeah, what'd you finish?
Death Stranding.
Me too. Oh boy. Oh.
Tom is lagging behind slightly on chapter 9.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, just a little.
What a game.
What a game. Really good. Lots of fun.
I mean, it is so difficult to continue talking about it without actually talking about it. But I just want to say that any reservation that I had prior to this coming out was completely unfounded.
There it is.
This was.
There it is. He said it.
I did.
He said it.
Yeah. What I was really shocked about, Eric, after obviously last week when Tom went and traded it in and said it was really shit, he actually went and bought it again, and he's now on chapter 9. Isn't that just an amazing turnaround?
Yeah, well, Tom is willing to give something a chance. If we said it was good, he's like, what?
He's chiming in as well.
Maybe I need to give it another shot. Maybe I was playing this wrong.
No, I'll have you know that I was always very much on the side of Kojima.
Listen to him try to save his own image.
I was certain that Kojima would deliver, and he certainly has. And
Get it?
These three naysayers.
Deliver because it's a game about delivering things?
Exactly, he picked it up.
I got it.
Oh, I thought it was a game about shitting and chucking your piss and shit at ghosts and stuff. That's what it was.
So I've conditioned Ellie to call it, because I didn't want her going around calling it Death Stranding. So, I mean, it's a pretty innocuous game to have a kid watch. There's really nothing super scary about it.
No, it's pretty supernatural, isn't it?
Yeah, and I conditioned her to call it.
There's the murderous, terrifying ghosts thing.
Yeah, but she loved, she would be able to tell me when there's BTs coming. She's like, Dad, it's raining. Are the BTs? She'd say it with this southern accent too. It was so funny. She's like, are the BTs coming out?
That's so funny.
Yeah, well, no, not yet. They don't always come out. And then the game would slow down, and then your little order deck would pop out. And she's like, Dad, the BTs are coming. So we'd hunker around, and she'd, tell me where they were at. But
that's so funny.
I've conditioned her.
I think Southern American Death Stranding would have been better, actually.
Oh man,
those kind of voices.
I conditioned her to call it Mailman. So instead, we were just playing.
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Norman Reedus and Mailman.
We play FedEx Simulator.
Did you see the custom box art that somebody made for this called Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus?
Yes. It's brilliant. Google it if you've not seen it.
I mean, me and you talked about it at length last episode, Eric, so we don't need to retread it that much. But if you have a PS4 and you haven't played it, I would go play it, because I still don't think it would be for everyone, but you can't form an opinion on it until you actually sit down and play it, because it's not like anything else out there.
I was looking back through the comments that we had posted prior to this coming out, and some of the people who were pretty vocally against it. I would recommend giving it a shot, because, I don't think, I said it last show, but I don't think the reviews did this game any favors. I think, in fact, they probably hurt it more than they helped it. And maybe some of those people's opinions were based on the outcome of those reviews, and they just completely were unfounded. The reviews sucked. The game itself is unbelievable. It is one of the most unique, engaging games I've played in years.
It is, Eric, but the thing about the game is it doesn't necessarily appeal to a lot of gamers, because this is just generalizing a bit, but a lot of gamers like action and things. So Metal Gear Solid, really, while it was a stealth game, still had all that action in it. Death Stranding is kind of like this artistic piece, really, instead. It doesn't have massive wide appeal, not really mainstream.
You have to want a good story, a really good story. And
yeah, even though the story, right, is yeah, it's a bit batshit mental, but it is quite well explained and does come full circle towards the end.
It's pretty coherent for a Kojima story. I understood what was going on all the way up to the end.
Yeah, I mean, I've been replaying this week Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, and that makes no sense at all. So they're just chatting shit about memes and stuff, and I'm like,
Well,
why are you talking about like cats on the internet, dude? What are you
Kojima
talking
wasn't directly involved in that game, was he?
He was a producer,
Yes,
I
I
believe.
think he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he facilitated that. I forget the name of the developer that made it. Platinum Games.
Platinum, yeah,
Yeah.
because it was revealed years before it came out, Rising, and it was meant to be kind of more of a sort of along the lines of Metal Gear and less of an action game.
Yeah, it was
With
meant to be Raiden.
Yeah, and then they handed it over to Platinum because they couldn't get it done, basically. So
Yeah, there was talk of a sequel for a long time, but it just never happened.
Do you know what? It's a brilliant game. It's a lot of fun. If you just want some mindless hack and slash action, I'm really surprised it's never been remastered for the PS4.
I have it, but it's sealed.
Open it.
It was one of those that was on clearance for like $6. I'm like, yeah, I'll add this to the sealed shelf.
It's one worth opening because I go back to it routinely to have a play through and chop things to bits because it's hilarious.
It was given away on PS Plus at one point, wasn't it?
No.
I don't know about that.
They've given away MGS4. I'm not sure about Rising.
And 5 as well.
I'll check it. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, contrary to the belief of the other three, I love Death Stranding. And I've been enjoying it very much. But I am behind. I haven't finished the game, but I have put in more hours because I've been constantly going off the beaten path and trying to do everything, which I've realized is just probably not fitting in very well with me trying to play various other games and games for the show. So I'm kind of trying to blast through the final bits. Now,
I don't blame you though, dude, because there's a lot hidden off the beaten path.
There is.
So,
it's fun. There's more, and like it's fun doing stuff for other areas of the map, like other people, because you can always unlock something new to play with, and it's not just something arbitrary that you'd never use. It's like, oh, that's really useful, like a new bit of equipment that will help me, last longer in cold temperatures, or a new weapon or something like that.
That's a really interesting point, though, Tom, because I think I mentioned it on the last show. Like certain games have things which you get which aren't necessarily useful. You don't need them, but I found pretty much everything I got on Death Stranding at some point I needed and used, which is a fascinating way of developing a game over time to keep your interest.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's not just unlockables for the sake of it. There are so many games where I've unlocked like 30 special moves, but I've kept with the same 3 that I've always used up until that point, just because I don't know. I didn't want to learn the new mechanic, or I just didn't. I don't know. I think it's because of the pacing as well with Death Stranding. Like it will give you something new, you use that or get used to that for a good 45 minutes or hour of game time, and then one other thing that's new, so that by the time you get to probably where you guys are, you're completely overwhelmed, but at the same time, you're totally locked in and cued in with what's going on. You're like, I get this now. I understand how it all works.
I had trepidations going into it with obviously the terrain mapping and the fact that you can fall over and things like that. And I was like,
and encumbrance can be annoying, like in games.
Yeah, and I was wondering, how is it going to work, and will it keep my interest? But as with any game, if you play it over time, you develop the skill necessary to be able to navigate things. I can't even imagine how. There's a section quite early on where you have to navigate through a forest of BTs to get to the wind farm, and I really struggled with that when I first did it. But going back,
me too.
I know so much more and have more facilities to get through that area so much easier. Because you don't have that fear of the BTs anymore because you're used to dealing with them. And it just has that excellent pacing where you learn those new skills over time and become the ultimate delivery man, essentially.
You made a comment about tipping over and falling over. So that right there is one thing that turned me off in the reviews. Like, Jesus Christ, I remember falling over all the time. Like, I got to constantly be balancing my weight and at the end of the game, they give you a breakdown of just so much shit. Like, how many times did you fall over? In 40 hours of gameplay, I fell over 12 times. So
Hate
that
it.
right there is a completely
bad, is it?
irrelevant point within the
Yeah.
review. They made it seem like you're just constantly going to be falling over. Like, you're not.
I keep having these moments in Death Stranding where I'm really enjoying it, and I think it's so cool for so many different reasons. Like, I don't want to. I'm not going to spoil anything. I just want to explain this one bit that I was doing. So it was like I was kind of navigating through essentially a blizzard. Couldn't see anything in front of me or anything behind me. Norman Reedus has got his like hood up and everything, and I'm like trudging through snow, and I'm ages away from where I need to be, but I can't use a vehicle or anything like that. And I took a tumble. BB wasn't happy. BTs were around the corner, and suddenly I was like, shit, everything's going wrong. I don't have anything nearby. Like, this is pure survival. Like, I have to try and muscle through this.
The exact same thing happened to me on that section as well.
Yeah.
But that's cool, though. That's such a neat
It's just
aspect.
really cool because I was like, okay, I need to resort my cargo. I need to sit down for a second, like literally rest and get some stamina back up, drink some Monster, and let's take a break, because I'm not going to make it if I just hold the trigger down and the left stick down and just power through. I'm going to do myself.
Well, I was telling Dan there was a point kind of similar to that where you have to make a super lengthy trek, like insanely long trek. And I didn't realize till I got to the top of a mountain halfway between my starting point and my destination that I set off with absolutely nothing. Literally
Apart from
nothing.
your cargo.
No, I didn't even have my cargo. I don't know. Like,
I did that as well during my playthrough.
Like, you didn't have to deliver anything at this point. It was just a return here. But I had no hematic grenades. I had no ladders. I had no PCCs. I had no guns. Nothing. And it's like,
Shit.
I can go back and get some, or I can just keep going. And I just kept going. And it just kind of, it kicks in a new style of gameplay. Like, I am just trying to survive here.
Yeah, avoid
And then you
things
can use
because I'm
other
vulnerable.
people's things as well. And it's interesting to see
and
how
like
that
when
works.
you're in a desperate situation, and then you suddenly see that some hero online has put a rope there, or a bridge, or a generator to charge your bike.
Yeah.
Oh my god, thank God.
It happened to me so many times where I would walk through something and then there would be a bike there. And I was like, yes, I need this right now. It happened all the time.
I feel bad,
so
though,
cool.
because I never left vehicles in convenient places for people. Mine were always wedged somewhere. Well, this one's staying here.
Full on Austin Powers between two rocks.
God,
Yes.
yeah. They were. People are going to look at that and go, oh, that guy's an idiot. And they weren't
bikes
wrong.
are
I wonder
pretty
if they
good,
do
though.
stay in exactly the same place for the people online, or if they move slightly.
I mean, I've seen some vehicles in some dumb spots. So, down by the cosplayer, that's where I left my truck right in front of the door, and I came back and there was another truck there as well.
That area is really difficult to get through as well because it's really rocky. So taking a vehicle that way is basically harder than just walking.
Yeah.
So it's, I tell you what I loved about this game though, and it's a small thing, but the simulation of snow and how it had actual weight to it, and you could feel the trudge as he went through the snow when it was up to like his shins, and it was just so cool. Because snow in games traditionally has just been you kind of walk on top of it. You may leave footprints, you may not, but this, I think God of War was the first new God of War where I realized how like snow could be simulated and have that depth to it. And Death Stranding kind of does that as well, and it's just so good. It makes me excited where games are going to go for the next generation with this kind of simulation of the real world.
And I think that's why I highlighted that bit that I was on in the blizzard and stuff, because it's not, as well as adding the depth, it really, the air, like the chill of the air and how fierce the wind is against you. You're like, this is true survival.
You could really feel him.
Yeah.
You could really feel him struggling against that wind, and you could feel that with his stamina going down faster.
Oh, God. And God forbid your power skeleton runs out of battery halfway through.
Oh, man.
I honestly thought I wasn't going to make it on that bit, and I did. It was an incredible experience.
Yeah.
It really was.
And that's
this game is full of those moments that
Yes.
probably stayed with me throughout.
So I talked about it on last show, but one of the very first missions where you first head out for your first delivery and the camera pulls back and it's playing that song. That is ingrained in my memory. Like that for me.
Is
me
it by
too.
Law Raw by any chance?
What's that?
Is it by Law Raw by any chance?
It is. Yes. And I didn't think
thought
that
so.
this game would be able to recreate another one of those moments, but it does later. And it's
Amazing.
just like the game itself is, you have to approach it less as a game and more as an experience, because it's exactly that. You have to be willing to immerse yourself into the world.
Yeah. I think it's some of the best mapping I've ever seen in a game.
It's wild.
Like all those rocks and all those inclines and stuff, it's very cool.
And you can
so
tell that it
difficult to
wasn't
put
just
together.
randomly laid out.
No way. Someone's like crafted that, because that's the whole point. You're trying to find the best routes around all these places. They have to create areas that are basically blocked off unless you use ladders and ropes, or you have to take the long way around the mount, like literally go around the mountain, and like that's gonna be where the mules are. So you have to decide, all right, well, do I want to just kind of mission it up and over to avoid mules?
I found one spot where I physically could not go up, even though it was within the center area of the map.
Right.
I couldn't, right by the incinerator, I could not go up and over that mountain next to it, even though I
You
could
can also not go up the area near the wind farm. So there's a section towards where Port Knot City is, and then you think you can go over the mountain to skip basically the forest to get to the wind farm, but you can't. You have to go all the way back round.
Did you climb to the top of the highest mountain in the game?
I don't know. I don't think I did. No.
A neat little view from up there.
Did you slap down a great view sign?
Nope.
Well, you
haven't
should.
I
put a
slapped down a
single sign
BT
down.
sign.
There is actually a trophy for putting down all the signs, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh
That game loved to give out trophies.
my god, it does.
I've still got quite a few to go though. So
Are you still playing, Dan?
I haven't. I honestly barely touched my PS4 this week. I've been working late a few days, and we've had people staying over, so I've been locked out of my game room. So I've been PS3 in it this week with a bit of
Arkham Origins.
Arkham Origins, yes. And how did you know that? And-
yeah, I spy on you guys.
And Metal Gear Rising as well.
Yeah, nice. I was going to ask what made you go back to Arkham Origins? You just
I don't know, because we were talking about, obviously we did Arkham Asylum,
yeah.
and I loved it. And Arkham Origins is one I've probably played the least out of the four. And I
Yeah.
remember really enjoying it, and I want to go back to it and kind of relive it a bit. It's because it's the black sheep of the Arkham family, and everybody doesn't really mention it, but I still think it's a really good game.
Yeah. Boss battles
Looking
are
at it
apparently
yesterday,
very
though, like the texture work and stuff on it is terrible compared to the others. But
good.
it's I didn't notice at the time when I first got it, but looking back at it now, you can really see the difference, even compared to the original. So
Well, it didn't end up on that Return to Arkham pack, did it?
no,
it didn't
because it's
end
not
up getting the
Rocksteady
treatment.
produced.
Yeah. So there you
But
go.
I just kind of wanted to go back and relive. I have a tendency to do this towards Christmas when I've kind of finished most of the things I have, and I look through my collection and go back to things that I've played in the past and want to kind of relive just that buffer between the Christmas game period, you know.
Yeah,
Because Black Friday for me over here, everything was quite underwhelming. It was either still just outside my impulse price range, or I'd played it already. So I was toying with getting the Surge 2 today. It's down to £20.
Oh.
But I was like, I don't really want to play it right now. So I'll wait
That
for
shouldn't
that
stop
one.
you, though.
Wonder if they
I'm
still
not
play
you.
that
I'm
song
not
in
you.
the
I
save
have
room.
restraint.
What's that like?
You cannot miss. She'd never seen before.
I still think you should get that, Eric, because it's a really good game.
The Surge?
Actually, it was free on PS Plus.
Yeah,
It was on
I
PS
started
Plus,
it.
yeah.
I started it.
You abandoned it 'cause it was so
Have you
good.
not finished it? Did you enjoy it too much?
I couldn't tell you a single thing about it other than it was a game. And
You can
Played a
cut
bit of
off
it.
people's limbs and heads. What more do you want in a
It
game?
was cool. I like that. It was a bit Dark Souls like with its combat, and you could target specific areas, like weaker areas and stuff of the enemies. I thought it was cool.
And of course, it had that lovely song in the save
Which I
points,
loved. I
Thomas,
ended up
Thomas
downloading
just sang
that.
to us.
It's on my Spotify. But the Death Stranding soundtrack is also on my Spotify because obviously 90% of it seems to be by Low Raw, but there are a few others that are by some other artists.
something
that are very good.
Poets, Dead Poet.
Is
No.
it Dead Poets or something? It's called
Silent Poets or something?
Asylum for the Feeling. Is a beautiful
Yeah.
track. It's a beautiful track. Just generally speaking, so I think there's a lot that's really cool and great about Death Stranding, but something that the two things that come to mind are the music and the online aspect. Like, it's like a massive multiplayer game, but it's just you. But we're all kind of helping each other out.
Yeah,
and I feel like
accurate.
that's what's baked into the narrative a bit.
The music is incredibly mellow and goes with the environment because it's this long trudge through an environment without necessarily much going on, and the music kind of complements that.
It's depressing.
Yeah.
The music is extremely depressing. To go along with just
He doesn't have a very good time of it, really. He just has to trek across an entire country. He's basically going across the entire United States, which appears to have shrunk in size by about 18 times.
Yeah.
If not more.
I walked 175 kilometers, which is probably about from here to Tucson.
And also, weirdly, it's turned into Iceland, which is bizarre.
Yeah. So, no deserts to go through.
It does really look like Iceland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder if they have that dating app.
That's an old episode reference, guys. If you get that one, you get a factory sealed sticker.
Yeah, compliments of Dan Curtis. Should we get on to some news?
Nice.
News?
About us, so...
Sure.
World events.
play.
Here we go. This is what we're going to talk about. May get controversial. Super political. No, I'm just
First
kidding.
on the agenda, impeachment.
Second, Brexit.
just
God.
the light news stories for today.
Yeah, just a little bit of a light news story. Third, is vaping bad?
Fourth, is the world really flat?
And finally, we're going to round it off with a little bit of Stadia.
And number 6, we're going to talk about cheese and pottery.
Oh, but can we talk about Stadia first?
Do we have to?
What a console.
God, I think this is the future.
I think it's the best thing since bread frames for your pictures.
So when... So has Mike been enjoying using it or not? I can't tell whether he's right. He is.
Mike?
He's enjoying
Is
his...
he? Mike's
he's
not
got-
using it.
He's got the Founders Edition.
Mike
No,
does.
doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he does. Oh, he dropped a lot of money on that. That's like
Yeah.
that's his console of choice now. That's all he's playing on.
Yeah.
I think this is the new getting thrown under the bus, isn't it? We just lie about people's things.
Got to evolve, Dan. Got to evolve.
Sorry, just edit that bit out.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It may have launched. It may have had a rough launch, but they decided to sweeten the pot by giving away 2 more games:
Oh, yeah.
Tomb
look at
Raider
yours.
and Farming Simulator. And
Solid.
yeah, system sellers right there. But if you'd already purchased them, they're giving you a credit, so you can purchase more of that stellar lineup.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Did you guys watch that video about how insanely bad the lag is?
I think I sent it.
Yeah. What a
But
shit
yes,
show.
I did watch. Oh, I sent you guys a video of a guy who has 1 gigabit up and down internet, and he's showing himself playing one of their exclusives. I think it's called Guilt, which actually looks quite good, but I mean, it's
feel
not a system
guilty
seller.
for buying that shit.
And he's like basically saying that, so normally when you lag on your native hardware, or like the game freezes or whatever, everything freezes, and then when it unfreezes, you're still in the same place. But because you're streaming it from Google servers, the server doesn't know that you've frozen, so time continues to pass. So when your game freezes, by the time it's unfrozen, your character's actually moved to another area entirely, or stuff has just happened in general. So unfortunately, that is creates a very jarring experience that is just basically unplayable. Especially if you're playing like multiplayer stuff and competitive. Like, I mean, we're not even that's that side of it. I mean, if you can't even get single player right, I mean, Jesus.
The problem is that anything streamed that's processing information.
It's live.
It's live.
Yeah.
Anything that's being streamed is always, without question, going to be inherently lower resolution than if it's being processed on your local hardware. That right there is an absolute game changer for me. I can't settle for that.
Yeah.
Why would I want to take a hit like that?
I mean, you would maybe if you're the type of person that doesn't care and you save a lot of money. Like it's like a much cheaper solution or like it's marketed for, I don't know. It comes back to that question that I think Dan asked last episode that we still don't know who it's for. Like I
don't think it's for anyone.
Who's this console for?
I don't think they know. I think that's the problem.
I think this is just meant to be like a proof of concept. And I'm hoping that a lot of the manufacturers look at this and go, ooh, yeah, not the thing. But apparently the xCloud beta is not terrible.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I just feel like it's technology that the world isn't necessarily ready for yet. And maybe in 50 years we might be, but right now we're not, you know?
My concern is that most internet companies here in the States have data caps. And if you're going to be streaming 4K, I don't remember the exact numbers for it, but it was insane amounts of data for 20 minutes worth of streaming.
I do remember we'd worked out as a group that if you played games for like 3 or 4 hours a day or like a couple hours a day, most days in a month, you'd be creeping right at the end of your data cap if you are capped, and on top of normal, like, you know, people watching Netflix in your home or just using the internet in general. This adds a lot of stress onto your plan. And the last thing you want to be doing when you're really engrossed in enjoying a game is thinking about your data cap.
Yeah, I hope
fuck that.
I hope at some point we get to a point in society where we class internet as a utility, and you know, we don't put caps on how much power you can consume.
No.
Well, they're debating over
it
here
is in the UK.
Oh.
It's we have unlimited data caps over here already, but they are if not to get too political, but one of the parties over here, if they win this general election that's coming up, they are promising that in the next 10 years that everybody in the UK will get access to free fiber broadband.
And I think that's a necessity because the life exists on the internet.
It is mad as it sounds. It has become like water or electricity. It's just part of life. And why not do that now?
You miss out on a lot otherwise, because like even my mum, who's not computer literate, she's still paying her bills like in person, and it costs her money to drive to the place to go and pay the bill. It's like she could just do that online, save her money, or like she'll buy stuff from. If she's buying me a game for Christmas, she'll go to Game and pay full price instead of going on Amazon because she just doesn't have the internet or whatever, or can't afford the internet. So it's like, it saves people a lot of money and time. It's so necessary. I don't know, man. I think as long as North America has data caps, which is like a huge, colossal market in entertainment, like, yeah, it's too early. It's a little too early. I think it's a cool idea, but I'm personally not into it.
Yeah,
and
I'm not.
I don't like the idea of. I don't like that Google's doing it particularly, and that I'm just licensing stuff again. Nothing's owned anymore. So like
this is what we said last time as well.
Yeah, and I'm fine with not owning some stuff like Spotify. Yeah, take my $10 a month for every track pretty much available. That's cool. I'm not totally attached to buying albums or anything, but like, yeah, leave my games alone.
Yeah, but the thing with music and movie streaming is that it's not interactive. It's a passive experience, and it's just kicking information to you. You aren't sending information back, and there's not this circle where you have to have low latency. Where a movie and a song, they can buffer out. So at the beginning, when it's loading, it's buffering out 30 seconds so that if you do lag, you don't get that perceivable hiccup in your video quality. You're not going to get that with gaming. And I don't, like Dan said, we just aren't at the point where we can have completely flawless streaming. Maybe if we ever do get to that point where they can say, look, here's 4K, 60 frames a second, completely latency-free streaming,
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot. But in its current state, I have zero interest, mainly because I'm leasing content, and I just don't like that.
It's funny because like this is where we've drawn the line at they haven't passed the first hurdle, which was can they technically achieve this? Because we were saying that we were talking about how the technology is great, but what about later on down the line with licensing, with music and stuff like that? Like, will they just suddenly, the license for a game's music run out and they suddenly have to put in some MIDI track?
Ugh.
You know, like that was one of my later concerns, as well as leasing stuff. But now it's like, well, no, they can't even get the.
Well, look at like what happened with what was it, DuckTales Remastered on PSN, where it just gets taken off.
Oh yeah, I hate that idea too.
Hey, great, I paid for this, but if I didn't have room on my hard drive and didn't have it downloaded at the time, screwed.
Yeah, and like think of another industry where that happens, where you buy something and then it just gets taken.
Yeah.
No, that's
well, unless the bailiffs come round if you haven't been keeping up with your repayments, Tom.
There's that.
Can't pay, we'll take it away.
Can't pay or take it away. The video game Stadia version.
We've sufficiently beaten this dead horse
all over it.
Yeah. It's just, I don't think it's there, and I don't think we're going to see this take off and be the colossal success that I think Google was hoping for. Maybe had they launched this as a beta, hell, maybe even an alpha, and said, "Hey, here's what we're working on. You know, it's still under development."
They just needed to launch it with an actual game, some kind of IP that people are familiar with that isn't necessarily available on anything else, and that would have given it more traction.
They needed to
They've launched with Tomb Raider, which came out like 6-7 years ago, which is just ridiculous.
Well, and they needed to not commoditize it so much, where, okay, hey, you're going to pay us for the service, you're going to pay us for the hardware, and you also get to pay us for the games. Do it as a Netflix style, like Game Pass, where, you know what, you're going to pay us X amount of dollars a month, you're going to have access to stream this entire library of games. But
yeah, why would I pay to stream a game where it's going to lag, whereas I can buy a disc or a digital version on another platform, which would run infinitely better?
Yep.
It makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I think they probably might have done a favor if they'd done themselves a favor if they'd maybe released it to a pool of people first and got them to test it. And I mean, I take it they did have rigorous testing, but I mean, this is a bad launch to immediately have problems like that.
I think they must have herded together a bunch of idiots for that. Cause
on the Peterson scale of get it or skip.
Do you think, Eric, you would buy it if they ended up in some kind of fire sale, like $20 each?
No. Absolutely not. I am not. No. I don't even want to experience this shit. Because all I know it's going to do is cement my belief that streaming is not the future. I
don't know about you, Tom, but I don't think he's a fan. You know, don't think he's liking it. You know,
I love
Mike,
the fact that I can
getting on with the Founders Edition. He thinks it's spiffing.
He bought 2 controllers.
Mike hasn't left the house since it came out. He's just been playing it constantly.
Oh God, yeah, he is starting to sell off all of his physical games too.
I tell you what, because he can take it everywhere with him as well. He just loves it in his stationary lorry. He just loves it.
Yeah, that's the thing. He travels, so the Stadia's. It makes sense that he has it. It makes sense that it's ideal for him.
Good for him. I mean, at least somebody bought it.
Oh, my name's Mike, and I'm very excited about the streaming future and all that. That's him. That's what he sounds like.
Answer my question.
Love you, Mike. Sorry.
Tesla is developing a new PlayStation 1 truck.
I forgot. I knew something big had happened this week. This was so funny, man.
Did you guys watch the video where apparently the glass on this is like it is armor-proof glass?
Yes.
And Elon hands this guy this steel ball and says, "Here, throw it out the window. It'll be fine." So he throws it at it and it shatters. And you can hear people in like, I don't know if they're producers or what off in the background cussing and swearing about it. And then Elon's like, "Oh, Maybe needs a little bit more testing. Here, let's try the back window. So he throws it at the back window, and the same thing happens. It's like, oh god.
He's able to roll with it so well, though, because it almost. Some of the critics were saying that even though their shares went down immediately after that, to like by 6%, they very soon went back up, and they fulfilled like a massive amount of orders because some people felt like it was a human aspect of him, like joking around, like, yeah, we're not perfect, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, he did cover it quite well. He didn't go into full meltdown or anything, did he, on stage? So
well, the dude doesn't care. He can just piss and shit money for the rest of his life. That stuff like this doesn't affect him.
I personally really like the look of the car because
it's ugly.
But I like it because it looks like it's from the future and it looks really sci-fi like.
Doesn't it looks like a PS1 car?
It looks like the textures haven't finished loading yet. It's the Lara Croft of trucks.
I actually really like that. That's a great picture. I've not seen that one.
And everybody's been photoshopping it into old games because it looks like a PS1 car.
It is funny.
It does look like the Warthog.
But dude, like picture like decades from now. That is totally how cars could look.
Do you remember what people thought cars were going to look like back in the 50s and 60s?
That very angular look and everything.
God, dude. And then we had to go through the shitty 80s and 90s versions of cars. Ugh.
Okay, the 80s was bad. The 90s was pretty cool, though. Some of them.
I don't know about that.
All those cars in the Getaway that I can't pronounce, they were great, though.
Round and bulbous.
That Porsche 911, a mid-90s Porsche 911 is gorgeous.
This thing looks like it has absolutely zero aerodynamics. This is going to get oh, wait, no, I guess it doesn't use gas.
It's a truck. So. It's huge as well, by the way.
It's a what?
It's very big. I know it looks small in all the pictures, but it's actually very big.
Like, so is this meant for like long haulage, or is it like a pickup truck?
It's a pickup truck.
It's a pickup truck. It's kind of
Tom. You are full. You are full of horse crap. This truck
is
full
not
of anything
other than goodness.
It's not that big. Look at this. Here's Musk standing next to it. His head is above the top of the truck. That's not a tall truck. That is barely a car.
I meant in length. It's actually quite a long car.
Oh.
But look, it's Marmite, all right? It's Marmite.
Vegemite?
You're going to have to accept that one day you'll be driving that.
No.
I mean, look at how cool it looks when the back comes out. That is awesome. Put your quad on there, roll that bad boy out, get on the desert.
It's also a very futuristic quad bike.
Yeah, it is.
Hell yeah. Look at those wheels, man.
Dude, this thing looks like shit.
Yeah, well, it's okay to be wrong.
I hope it has like a lot of...
I do think it looks like a bag of shite as well, Tom.
I hope
but
it has a lot of really...
enjoyed it being photoshopped into all the games. Like somebody's actually modded it into GoldenEye 64, and it's just marvelous.
It is funny. It is funny.
What's it been in race driving and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, the race driving one's funny.
Yeah, somebody put Lara Croft next to it, the Tomb Raider from PS1, because it just looks like her tits.
I do.
No, what they did for that meme was they put new Lara Croft against a picture of a normal car, and then put old Lara Croft against the picture of the.
Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah,
but ironically, it's gained more traction because of this.
Oh yeah, you can't. Have they said this is actually the model that's releasing? This isn't just a. This isn't just a concept.
I think so.
Oh no, that is legit the car. Yeah.
When does it come out?
I saw something between Musk and Cyberpunk 2077's developers, CD Projekt Red, that they suggested that he should make something like this, and he actually went ahead and did it. I don't know if that's true or not, but they definitely had a Twitter exchange about it. I don't know if one side is joking or not, so don't take my word for it.
I love it.
It does look like wouldn't it be so funny if they modded that into Cyberpunk 2077? I mean, for the PC version, somebody will do it, but if it was just there as standard, it would be hilarious.
I heard this too, Dan, actually, about Cyberpunk and this truck.
It would fit in.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you guys. Look, you know, this is the future. Sorry.
Man, I'm excited for that game. That's going to be good.
Oh, Cyberpunk? Yeah, hell
It comes out
yeah.
so close to Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, it's dangerously close, but you're just going to have to take some floppy wibble, I think, and play Final Fantasy VII through and through. I wonder if
I'll be
there's a new
done
game-
within the hour, Tom. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
Tom, I just realized that we are tentatively planning your bachelor party right around the time that Final Fantasy comes out.
Oh, that's a really bad idea.
Because that comes out
Yeah.
when? March 3rd?
March 3rd, is it? Yep. Ooh, Eric, that is dangerous.
It's dangerous.
You're going to have to move it.
Or you could be down here and we could enjoy it together.
Well, I can't watch it.
No.
I want to play it.
So you can buy it. I have 2 PS4s.
Do you?
Yeah, and we can set up next to each other. 2 monitors. And we can play together. And then you can transfer your game save via your cloud back home. We'll work
Not
it out.
about it. Not a terrible idea.
We'll work it out.
It's pretty terrible because one of you could end up further ahead of the other and completely spoil the experience for the other. So it makes no sense, really, does it?
No.
Chris?
What we'll do is we'll set the monitors back to back.
Okay.
Also, I kind of wanted to, draw the curtains, sit in my pajamas,
Pull your
experience
pants down.
Midgar.
But think about experiencing Midgar on my TV with my sound system.
Can you get split screen? Can you do split screen on that?
We could probably make it work.
Eric, I did visualize that once, but the cleanup took too long, so I couldn't do it.
Oh God, I guess. Game Awards is coming up.
Yes. I believe there's a few rumored titles coming out of it.
Well, I showed you I put a link in our document to all of the nominees.
Yeah, we got Control.
I didn't know we had a document.
This is
You
a game
did too.
right, Game of the Year.
I knew it
right?
existed. I just forgot for this week.
Here,
People
I'll
are
send you
saying-
the link.
When they look at Game of the Year, they've got things like Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2,
Yeah.
Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, The Outer Worlds. I think that's it.
Wait. Did Smash
it.
come out this year?
Yes.
I
We were
I
playing
thought
it
it was-
early. We were playing it this when we
I
came
thought
over
it
to
was
see you.
last year. I thought it came out in December.
It was last year.
Yeah.
It was.
Do they not do December to December?
I thought it was November, actually. Did they not do November to November?
Came out December 7th.
Oh. So technically, I guess.
That's
Okay.
And then, boy, this
wow,
is a weird list.
I mean, Sekiro deserves to be there,
Nope.
according to Eric.
Nope.
What else?
So the Pokemon isn't on there. Modern Warfare is not on there. Kingdom Hearts isn't on there.
I mean, that's no surprise.
Days Gone isn't on there.
No.
Goose Game isn't on there. Tetris 99.
Should we just name all of the games that aren't on there?
Yeah, can we?
So here we. That's an interesting selection. I really need to buy Control.
You do.
I
It's
had
a very
it.
good game.
I had it
Yeah.
in my hands because it was $25 on Black
That's
Friday.
so cheap.
I just
Worth it.
it was that or Greedfall, and
Oh, fair enough.
Control. I have a feeling is going to be down to $20 in no time anyway. Greedfall, I've only ever seen one copy of it.
Yeah.
Control is a stunning game. It's really good.
Is it Stellar?
Stellar.
It's annoying. It just came out at the wrong time because I've been waiting for that game all year, and then it came along, and I was in the middle of something else, and we were playing something lengthily for the show. But Resident Evil 2 deserves to be there.
I think so.
Death Stranding deserves to be there.
So there's been a little bit of controversy, though, surrounding Death Stranding being on this list for both
Oh, yeah?
Best Direction, Game of the Year, Audio Design. Like, it's in a lot because
Oh,
I can't remember. Knightley. Jeff Knightley? Is that the guy's name that runs it?
yeah. Yes.
Jeff Keighley? Is it Keighley?
Keighley?
Maybe it is Keighley, sorry.
It starts with a K, has some other letters in it, maybe ends with a Y. He and Kojima are actually really close friends. So there's been a little bit of controversy surrounding.
Yeah, but I'm sure he doesn't do the voting.
Tom,
Yeah.
if you scroll down about
Action game?
halfway to a
Action adventure?
a little section called narrative.
Oh, narrative. How far do you have to go? Is it past all the esports stuff?
Yeah, it's about 2/3 of the way down. Look at the
fighting,
first one on there.
indie, game direction, games for impact, independent, mobile, multiplayer, narrative.
Look at number 1 on there.
Plague Tale Innocence.
Plague Tale Innocence. Oh god,
Yeah.
that game.
Now, these 5 games in the narrative section: Plague Tale, Control, Death Stranding, Disco Asylum, The Outer Worlds. Have you guys heard of Disco
Yes.
Elysium?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I think I do.
It is apparently stellar.
Stuff.
I am very interested in it.
What's it on? Is it only PC?
It's only PC at the moment.
This is a good grouping of narrative games. From what I've played of Outer Worlds, it's awesome.
I need to play that.
Dan, I'll take your word for it. The Control has a good story, but out of these 5, man, Plague Tale is, to me, it definitely takes the cake for narrative.
Damn.
I would say even above Death Stranding.
Control's narrative, I wouldn't say it would be a Game of the Year winner. It's good, but it's weird. It's weirder than Death Stranding, which says something. And it doesn't kind of make as much coherence as Death Stranding in the end. But the best thing going for Control is its physics simulation, because it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, you basically have force powers in Control, and it does not get old through that entire game, picking up office items and chucking them with so much force in the face of guys who are attacking you. It's absolutely brilliant. I loved it so much. Like, you can just tap R1 and she picks up the nearest thing or the thing you're looking at. So you can just pick up like an office chair or anything like a light fitting or something. Just literally, she throws it with so much force and weight into this guy.
So it's kind of like The Force Unleashed.
Yeah, but on a bigger scale.
Except
lightsabers.
not shit.
With
what do you guys,
Metroidvania elements, which is excellent.
What do you guys think of the independent game category, which has 5 indie games on it?
What's on it? Because the page won't load for me. It keeps
has Baba Is You, which apparently is excellent.
that made a bit of a splash earlier in the year.
Yeah.
I think Mike got it.
He did. Then Disco Elysium again, Katana Zero, Outer Wilds, and Untitled Goose Game.
Outer Wilds should 100% win that.
I think Untitled Goose Game will. It made a massive cultural splash. So
I've only played Katana Zero, which is very good.
Yeah.
I've not played any of them.
But Outer Wilds was one I really should have picked up when Epic were running a crazy sale on that game.
Is that on PS4 now? Or is it coming to PS4?
I think it's coming. It's close.
If that comes out for Switch, that is definitely a Switch game.
Yes, it is.
I'm still getting confused between that and the Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
I always do. It's unfortunate the 2 games came out the same year, which are so similar in title.
How about family game? We got Luigi's Mansion 3, Ring Fit Adventure, Super Mario Maker 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Yoshi's Crafted World. What would you guys choose for that?
How is your ring, by the way, Eric? Is it fit yet? Or?
Oh, yeah. Christy is just monopolizing that. She is loving that. She's probably got close to 10 hours into it. And, she really only play for 25 to 30 minutes at a crack because it's super intense. But she is definitely seeing results from it.
I'm glad she isn't playing for over 2 hours because, as we know, that would be too much.
That would be way too much. Too much work. Yeah, I would go with Luigi, but let's see. Are there any other ones worth noting here? The other one for performance, they've got 2 from Death Stranding, and this may be controversial to say, but I think Norman Reedus was kind of stale in Death Stranding.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Norman Reedus is stale in general. He just plays. He has a very gruff, boring voice.
There's not. I mean, I can't really say too much, and also you probably couldn't respond to this too much. But so far, I doesn't seem to have too much of an arc as a character.
He's a mailman that he's just stumbled into this world.
I know,
saving
but
plot.
Yeah,
And
it seems like everything around you is really the story. It's not about Norman.
He's always the dumbest person in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say anything, but that may or may not be true.
Yeah.
But Mads Mikkelsen is on there, and man, that guy gives a great performance in Death Stranding. Woo!
Oh yeah, yeah, he's very good.
Where's my BB? Give me back my BB.
What would you guys? How about audio design? I always find that's interesting because I love a good bit of sound design in a video game.
Death Stranding.
Good. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think
For sure.
Well, Sekiro's on there. I mean, I don't know much about Sekiro, but I wouldn't have thought of it.
You
as
want me to
being
tell you
one
about it? Because I can talk to you about it.
You talk to me
I
about
could
the
talk
sound
to you about it as well
specifically.
because it was a very good game.
Yeah, it sounds like shit.
Why is it up for all these categories then, Eric? It's also in art direction. It's also in action adventure game. It's in game of the year. It's in
Because
quite a few
they
categories.
need a clearly bad game to lift up the rest of them.
Is that the reason though? I really need you to be honest with me right now.
I don't know. Game sucked. Resident Evil 2 is a good one in there. So when do they actually vote on
You can
these?
sign in to vote now.
Yeah, but when is it being aired?
It's presented by Subway apparently.
So the public
just-
votes.
the 12th.
The public votes.
Yeah, so December 12th is when they finalize. So I was going to say, I don't know if we should waste too much time on this since we have our own Gotti show coming, but
Well, I'll say this one last one, right? Fresh indie game.
oh, I was hoping you were going to go with the esports coach of the year.
No, fuck this. My friend Pedro is in there.
Wait,
For fresh.
what category?
Fresh indie game, which is just like recognizing a new studio that released its first game this year.
Huh.
So yeah, like
Oh.
Dead Toast's first game was My Friend Pedro, and it's
Can I
had
go
quite an
back to
impact.
score and music for a second because I'm changing my vote.
Let's see. Can I just? Yeah, okay, go on. Then I'm on there now. Let's have a look.
Cadence of Hyrule.
That's not on there.
Yeah, it is. Score and music. Oh, wait, you did audio design. So yeah, audio design, Death Stranding, but score and music, Cadence of Hyrule.
Wow.
That game was great. That
What is-
game was great.
What is Sayonara Wild Hearts? Because
That's a super cool little game. You would like that one.
Yeah, that's totally a Tom game.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's like a endless kind of rhythm game thing, I think, which has a neon futuristic
Oh, yeah,
aesthetic
Tom,
to it.
This is your wet
it's on
dream.
Switch.
Yeah, it's your wet dream.
Tom, this is basically taking up residence on your boner and is rubbing it up and down right now because it's 100%
Oh, it does look
your
really
game.
cool.
Mike has talked about this one quite at length.
Yeah, but we
Yes,
don't listen
actually.
to Mike, as you know.
Mike said it was
Sorry.
terrible.
Did he?
Yeah, I said it was awful.
Oh, that's a shame. Sorry. Yeah,
He went,
I actually-
"Oh, why is this not on Stadia?" And then he buggered off.
I do remember him talking about this game. Actually, I do.
So
Before
if you look under the mobile game category, there's actually one on there that I played quite a bit of, and it's called What the Golf.
I think I remember you playing this.
I remember that.
Look up What the
Seeing it.
Golf. That game is so funny. It just looks like your typical mobile mini golf game, but it's so ridiculous. It's got a hint of Katamari to it. But you'll be standing there getting ready to tee off and you have to swing. And then instead of hitting the ball, like your guy just throws himself out there instead. It's ridiculous.
I think I remember.
It's
you-
basically if somebody
this.
took urban golf and turned it into a game. That's why Eric likes it so much.
Last one. Games for Impact. There's a game in here, Tom, that I'm sure you and I may potentially talk about on Game of the Year show, but a little game called Kind Words.
Oh my god, I can't believe that's on there, but it totally deserves it.
Yeah.
I honestly thought when I was playing that, oh, no one's fucking heard of this, so I probably won't mention it.
Wait, Sea of Solitude is out?
Oh,
Yeah, it came out ages ago.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it came out in July. Damn, I was looking forward to that game.
So much so that you missed it.
Guess so.
Kind Words is
What
such an interesting little game.
It's not even a game. It's just
No, not really.
It's a self-help program.
Probably
Basically,
shouldn't be on the Game Awards, lads, if it's not good.
But I guess it makes sense with the strapline for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Yeah, I'll give it that. There is some gamey aspect, I suppose, where you collect stickers.
Oh,
Stickers.
That's a game.
Got
Did
my
classes.
blobfish. So cool.
It should have came to Stadia, said Mike.
One last bit of news that I want to touch on. Blue Point, the people who love to do remasters, are teasing 2 new games.
And they're very good at doing those.
They are.
Blue Point does
Remasters.
wonderful remakes.
They did Uncharted, one of the Uncharted, didn't they?
Yes,
They did the
Uncharted, the
Uncharted
Nathan
collection.
Drake collection, and also Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossi.
Yes.
So what are they teasing us with? What are the cryptic tweets and stuff they're putting up?
This one's a bit out of left field, but No One Can Stop Mr. Domino is being remastered.
Spot Goes to Hollywood is on the short list.
Okay, they've actually
And Goof
tweeted out.
Troop.
They tweeted out a bit of a poem, apparently.
Yeah.
To classics we play, our blood, sweat, tears give thanks. To family and friends, eager you stay. Cheers, rekindle flames. Thanks. Today feast, tomorrow rest. Soon the beast freed from jest. Temptation we shun, then on to the next. We reset to further adorn the Genesis, an era reborn.
That is 100% Demon Souls.
Oh,
It's gotta be.
do you reckon?
Did Demon Souls have bonfires, though?
Eric, that's a good guess.
It's gotta be. They didn't have bonfires, no, but it kind of falls in line with that whole Souls thing where you're rekindling life.
Temptation we shun, then on to the next.
Blood, sweat, tears, give thanks, blah, blah, blah. Let's see.
Imagine if they've made that in the Decima engine. How good would that be?
They should have put at the end, so that the world might be mended.
So that the world might be mended. Oh, man, I love if they announce that.
I will
I'm just
buy
going to
that.
lock myself in my office for a day and
That's
just
a day one buy for me as well.
go to town.
That'll be, if that launches with PS5, that will be a system seller.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did you finish Demon Souls, Dan?
I've never finished
That's
it.
the one
no,
you haven't,
to
yeah.
My embarrassment. I've went back to play it, but for some reason, my copy will not play on my PS3 anymore, which is really irritating.
It was free on PS Plus, though. Or maybe you didn't claim it.
I think I missed it,
There you go.
unfortunately.
So apparently there was another tweet that they had sent out that made mention of a Dart, who is the main character from...
Legend of Dragoon. Can you imagine if they put that out?
Oh, how bad
my
would
God.
that be?
No, I would buy it.
I wouldn't.
I would, and you would buy it too, and we'd play it together.
Tom, they would need to completely reimagine that game to make it not shit.
But they may do that because it's a PS1 game, so they got to do something to it. You can't just put out a bloody PS1 game and say, there you go.
They're not
going
to go like full Final Fantasy VII remake on it.
Hey, no, I know they won't, but they will certainly, clean it up.
I don't know if they have enough time, energy, or ability to make that game playable.
Look.
I'm looking.
Okay.
Okay.
4 discs, Sony JRPG, very much loved. I know it's got its problems, localization being the main one.
Yeah, it being a bad game.
No, Dan, have you played Legend of Dragoon?
I don't know anything about it.
Don't play it. Save
It's a
yourself the pain.
A 4-disc JRPG, a late PlayStation 1 JRPG. It's good.
It's not.
It's a good game.
Eric,
but it's
as
not-
much as I love you, I'm going to listen to Tom on this one because you're full of shite when it comes to games sometimes.
No, Dan, I recommended your game of the year 1 year and then almost a second year.
Yeah, but you lost any good grace by recommending Destiny 2 to me. So,
It's
sorry.
all gone.
That was more of a joke just to see if I could get you to do it.
Hey, that's a really good reason to buy Stadia. You get Destiny 2 for free, said Mike.
It is by no means, JRPG of the year. I wouldn't call it a masterpiece. I think some people put it up really high in their lists and I'm not sure why.
Have you played this game?
I don't think it was so bad. Yeah, I completed it.
No, you didn't.
I have. I finished it.
No.
Yes.
I don't think anybody's finished this game.
I finished it.
When?
Jesus, years ago now.
Oh, I think you're full of crap. Look at that smile. Look at
No,
that smile.
I could spoil it for you, but I won't because I think you'll go back to it. Actually,
People's
you shouldn't spoil the end of RPGs. You would never catch me
No.
doing that, particularly not Final Fantasy X.
People's defense
Funny-
is like, you just got to get through the first 2 discs, and then it gets really good.
No, I don't agree with that. But
Everybody said
here's
that
the
about
thing.
Death Stranding.
Here's
Got to
the
get
thing.
through 20 hours or so.
Funny story. When I got to the 4th disc, it was all in German. Whoever traded it in
Oh, no.
gave me the 4th disc in German, so I had to buy a loose copy.
You should have
of
boiled
disc
it.
4. Boiled away the German.
That's how I worked.
Wait, that was a dark joke.
I was the missus was just boiling some owls downstairs, so I just plopped the disc in, left it for 30 seconds, got back up, works fine.
Krista, would you mind boiling my game for me? It's off
Right.
in German.
It's
That
not
was
an
the
ama-
maddest. That was the maddest thing I've ever done to a game disc. It was just I didn't
weird.
think it would work at all.
Taking it out of the box
'cause-
is the maddest thing I've ever done.
The last thing I would say is that whilst it may not be one of the better RPGs in the world, I am surprised that you gave up, Eric. It must have been bad for you to give up.
I love RPGs. Those are
Dude, he only gives up on good games.
yeah, but when it comes to RPGs, I don't typically give up on them.
Yeah.
And we were doing it for the show, and we unanimously went, we are not finishing this. It is
I listened
so
to that show.
unbelievably dull.
Was
I
that
get
one
it.
of the really early shows, or was
Yeah.
when we
It
were
was with me and Kevin and Derek when we were kind of doing side stuff where we wanted to do longer RPGs, and we just kind of popped out the next disc whenever. But I get it. All joking aside, I get it. It's a game that people love, but I honestly think that they are looking at it with pure nostalgia. If you go back to it,
Yeah.
it is crap.
No, it's
Oh,
it's
Tom.
not that bad. It
Tom,
really isn't.
it's-
I want Dan to play it now,
it
just
is
even the
so
first hour.
Dull. The
Why?
writing is hideous.
Okay, the writing is not good. The writing is not good. And there's some it's of its time, man. It's of its time.
Yeah, let's.
It's got
leave
it's got
at
it's
its
got a
time.
neat battle system.
It does. The battle
system's
system
kinda
was pretty cool, but
Yeah.
the rest of the game, it was generic fare.
The
RPG.
cornerstone of every JRPG, by the way, the battle system.
Yeah, but if you go back to play the original Final Fantasy, it still holds up. It's still
Well, Final
fun
Fantasy
to
is
play.
in a different league, isn't it? We talk a lot about Final Fantasy and Zelda on this show.
That's pretty. We should just call it the Final Fantasy and Zelda show.
Legend of Dragoon deserves a spot.
I don't know. I think if it came down to it, and Blue Point had them up on a board and said, which one should we spend our time and energy redoing?
It's a bit of a cult hit, though. It's because it's isolated. It's just one. It's an IP that's never been revisited. It's
For a
first
reason.
party. It's
Typically, when games don't get sequels, it's for a reason. They are bad.
I don't know.
Wouldn't it be
man.
fascinating if it wasn't either of these? Just people are barking up completely the wrong tree.
Look at Demon Souls. What did Demon Souls spawn? Oh, a whole
Demon Souls 2?
genre.
Oh no.
No. Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, that shitty samurai one. Spawned a whole new genre within gaming. What did Legend of Dragoon spawn?
Radiant Historia.
A bunch of butt pee.
I don't know, man. If
If your piss is coming out
look,
your ass, you want to get it looked at, honestly.
if they do end up redoing
Went to
that,
Taco
I will
Bell.
buy it. I will be buying it.
I tell you
And-
what. If it's Legend of Dragoon, I'll buy it too. And prove to you that it is awful.
Okay, we'll play it together. If that's I hope it is. We again.
I will
like
play
Dan
it as
said,
well because I like an RPG, Tom.
Yeah.
I believe you, Tom,
Do
and
you
I
like
think
good
it will be
RPGs, Dan?
marvelous. I do. Funnily enough.
Dan, I will give you the $6 to download it on PSN right now so you can try it.
All right, I'm up for that.
It's oh god. Okay, I'll send it.
Brilliant,
To
brilliant. I'm excited now.
Is it on the English PSN?
Oh shit, it's not. I remember it not being because it was so annoying. So I was always refreshing it every day. because I love
Don't
it so
bother,
much.
Eric. It's not on. I'm not setting up
Emulate.
an American account.
Emulate
Yeah,
it.
I will. I will.
Okay.
I bet he doesn't make it to the end of the first disc.
Okay.
Do you
well, that's.
know me?
I think Dan will.
If you say
make
that
it.
to me, I will do it just to be stubborn and do it. That's how I work.
I would like Dan to, if you did play just the first couple hours, like, and if you like it,
Oh, the first couple hours are
Cool.
the best. Those are just
They are.
they really draw you in.
oh, yeah, honestly, man,
We got fucking sidetracked here.
sorry about that, guys. Sorry, everybody. I just, difference of opinion
Should we
forces
instead
conversation.
move on to the game?
I
of the
love
week?
digging my heels in on certain things.
I know you do. So do I sometimes.
The other one I can't stand. God, I hope it's not a Chrono Cross remake. Oh,
So there was an article you
Happy
shared
for Chrono
the other
Trigger,
day
mind.
that Chrono Cross is a good game, but not a good sequel. Is that what someone said?
Tom, you know how you said a little bit ago that a good battle system is the cornerstone of any JRPG?
Yeah, what's that one like?
It's shit. It is a horrid battle system. Oh, it's bad.
But Eric, I've never played Chrono Cross, but people love that game.
They're wrong.
Isn't Chrono Cross the one where it has ridiculous amounts of characters in it?
No, you're
That's
thinking...
Suikoden.
Yeah, Suikoden.
I'm sure Chrono Cross does as well.
Not that I know of.
I guess you can't trust people these days.
Nope.
People think all sorts of things. All right, well, shall we move on? Are we going to go for it?
Let's do it.
Game of the week.
For those who can't see, Tom, we've got some zoom in action going on.
Oh, brilliant.
All right. Right. Well, we actually put out a poll for this one because our scheduling kind of got messed up a bit, and so we each picked a game, tossed it out into the Facebook community for people to vote on. Eric, what did you pick?
Black.
Black, and Dan, you went for
Revenge of Shinobi.
Revenge of Shinobi. I picked Dino Crisis 2, won by a landslide. I
don't know if it was a landslide.
I mean, I've got the poll right here, Eric. Let's go through the numbers, shall we?
Yes, please do.
God, we're such pedantic buggers on this show, aren't we? I won. I'm so popular. Oh, well
Yes.
done, Tom.
Tom, did
Yes.
you were the one who put out the poll?
Dan put the poll out, but Dino Crisis was my selection. Yeah, I mean, I hadn't played it. I just thought it's a short game. It's supposed to be much different to the previous Dino Crisis game, which would have been a
But
good thing.
that was so
because
good.
That was
Power
a bit of a-
Plant Simulator.
slog.
I had my I sat down to play this. I had my high vis on. I was all ready for doing the power plant. I had my torch. It's all ready. And I was just left disappointed, Tom, because there's no bloody power plant simulation in this sequel.
I only
There
got
is-
to turn the power on to two things.
There are some power switching things to be done, but
Infinitely more accessible than they were on the first one, though.
Yeah. Didn't you finish this in one sitting, Dan?
Yes.
I seem to remember like you said you started it and then I finished work and then you were like, and I'm done.
And I'm done.
I did. I honestly did. I sat down, I think, 6 o'clock that night, finished by 10 o'clock. It's 4 hours long to blitz through this one.
I'm still trying to find the poll. I want to see.
You have to go back.
I'm still scrolling.
I'm so sorry, everyone. It really doesn't matter.
It does.
You guys picked. That's all that matters. Me and Eric were wrong. Tom was right. Let's just move on. Eric, stop digging your heels. Let's just move on. Let's talk about Dino Crisis. Can't be asked with you shite anymore. Let's just pack in.
Oh, I love you, Dan.
I think Dan's had enough. I think he wants to move on.
Last episode, I'm off. See you later.
Bye.
Oh, such caring.
Yeah. What a fun game, man. What a fun game.
Right?
It was a stark departure from Dino Crisis 1. So this came out in 2000.
99?
I think
Or
it came out in
2000?
2000. Yeah, September 13th, 2000. So this was like
It's quite a late PS1 game.
late PS1. Dino Crisis 1 was kind of criticized for just basically being a rehash of Resident Evil where they just inserted dinosaurs where zombies should have been.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
very
It didn't
generic.
really have its own identity. I think.
It did. It was a power plant simulator, Tom.
Oh,
You've
sorry.
been attention.
My bad. It did
Yeah.
have its own identity. It was a shite one.
So what they did here is they've they switched it from survival horror to an arcadey action adventure game with predetermined camera angles and kind of eliminated the focus on survival horror by giving you a lot more action.
It's almost like the Mercenaries mode. Is it the Mercenaries mode on Resident Evil 3 that you unlock when it's finished? And you kind of, but more arcadey than that, because that is kind of where you speed run through and you shoot as many things as you can. That's kind of what it's like. It reminded me of that.
I remember sending you guys a message where 5 minutes into the game, I had killed more dinosaurs than I had in the entirety of the first Dino Crisis.
I think every screen you go to, you pretty much get attacked by at least 3 raptors. So
It was
I
great.
think that, that was actually one of the things that was quite tough about the game, was if you found yourself straddled between 2 screens, you would just get constant spawns
that
of
happened
dinosaurs.
a lot to me.
Yeah, but that was an easy way to cheat
Rack
the
up
system.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the story a little bit here. It's a year after, a
Previous
year
events.
after the previous events, and you've got Vagina from the Spork team and Dylan from the Twat team.
Twat. That's what I kept thinking it said in his back. Because he's a mercenary from an organization that's called, what is it? Is it TRAT?
It's
TRAT.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I just-
tactical
I could not-
response and
Tits.
tracking.
But every time you see the animation of him climbing up a ladder, like in that typical Resident Evil style, you just see the back of his shirt, and it just says TRAT on the back, and I just keep wanting to say twat.
It's tactical recon something and acquisition team. That word is definitely wrong. I think it's supposed to be tactical reconnaissance and acquisition team. What does SORT stand for? I don't know. Search
I'm not
or
sure.
rescue team. We'll go with that. But anyway, it's a year after the first events, and you are sent to investigate the disappearance of Edward City, which exists in the past. So if you remember, they've developed this thing called third energy. Is that what it's called?
Yes. Not
Yeah.
sure what happened to second energy.
The third energy incident where I can't even remember. All I remember with the first game is turning off power and turning power back on. I literally remember nothing else.
I remember there was
don't
a
remember.
T-Rex at some point, but other than that, no.
But anyway, the third energy has been taken over by the government, and they wanted to kind of expedite the results and didn't take proper precautions, and an accident happened, resulting in the disappearance of a research-based military institution and a small town close by. So next to it is a jungle that has appeared from a different time. So Third Energy opened up this time-space vortex, imported a jungle from prehistoric times, and you have to go investigate what the hell happened. And as you land on the island, you and your team are attacked by a squad of raptors and a T-Rex and an Allosaurus, and Vagina and Dildo are the only 2 people who survive.
Right.
DYLDO, come on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We got it. We established this in WhatsApp earlier in the week. We know. Our jokes are planned in advance, guys.
They are.
behind the scenes plot point for you there. What I don't understand about this is Vagina is incredibly hostile towards Dildo from the start. I don't know why.
Also, she never tells him her name.
She should be welcoming to him. Sorry.
That's where my mind went as soon as I said it. I was like, yeah. And he's gone.
What even are we?
No one knows.
This is how we play games, folks. You should see the shit that I was sending in the WhatsApp chat about Resident Evil 4 last night. Oh god, that show's gonna be fun.
Just imagine Mike just raging with you.
Mike is gonna need to take a lot of high blood pressure medication prior to that show.
Hey,
Anyway.
I survived Batman, so he can do Resident Evil. It's
Yeah,
fine.
well, the only thing he can hope for is that I get to the end of it and go, I liked that.
That's
Could
if we can pull the guy away from Stadia to appear on the show. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Could you imagine if I like it so much that it ends up on my Gotti list?
Oh my god.
Oh god, I don't even. Just got a shiver.
I getting the creepies.
The creepy crawlies.
Yeah,
anyway,
but
sorry.
Jokes about vaginas and dildos aside, why is she hostile towards him from the start?
No, but like also you don't Dylan, right?
Who?
He doesn't know her name. She never tells him her name.
He's kind of your typical macho beefcake special operations guy.
With a
Yeah.
classic douchey 90s haircut.
I don't know why
Oh,
she
yeah.
decides to be such a dick to him the whole time.
Yeah.
Because
You know?
she's sassy.
Yeah. You never really find out. There's no real character development for those two.
You
It's
know,
more
the
just-
one thing that I'll never understand,
Go on.
and I get it's a video game thing, but okay, so this camp gets attacked and a bunch of people die. 3 people survived. Dylan, David, and Regina. Somehow David is separated and Dylan and Regina decide to split up to cover more ground. Why not stay together?
Because
Then
there's time pressure.
then they'd have to put the model of the character following you, and it would have been horrendous.
Oh god.
Yeah, there's time pressure as well. You both need to be doing your searching. You're both more than capable.
True.
No, I get it. I get it. That's just what they do. It's like in
Also,
Resident Evil.
what?
It's like the start of Resident Evil 2. Oh no, we're separated by a truck and some fire. I could figure out a way around, but I guess we should go off on our own.
This happens all the time in games, and then there's like a really climbable object in front of them. Like, oh, well, we can't go over this. But like, you really can, though.
You could just go around it.
I'm sure if Regina really wanted to get through the doors with vines on, she could.
Yeah,
You
if your
know,
life
she doesn't
depended
need
on it.
Dylan's machete all the time.
So you start off as Dylan running through the jungle, and you learn very quickly that it's very, very different than the first game.
Oh my god, like so different.
You are
I didn't
running-
realize.
You can run and shoot, something that you can't do in Resident Evil 4.
I didn't know that until about an hour in.
Oh god, it's so fun. And actually that's kind of a key to upping your combo. And that's where the
Yeah.
arcade aspect of it comes in, is that as you kill dinosaurs, you get a combo without getting hit. So the higher your combo, if you make it to the end of that section without getting hit, it further increases your combo, which gives you more extinction points, which can then be utilized to purchase new weapons, refill your magazine, buy upgrades, all that fun stuff. But it's super fast-paced, really fast-paced.
It's also
Ammo is in plentiful supply on this game as well.
yeah.
Little Eric loved that.
So
And
it's
there's always-
I think I said in the WhatsApp group, it's a complete and like opposite of original Dino Crisis. It completely swaps it round, taking away that survival horror aspect and making it this arcade game where you have so much ammo, like more ammo than you can ever need. If you upgrade your weapons a little bit and have more, because you can buy new magazines for your weapons, which gives you more ammo as standard. And I don't think I ever ran out of ammo on anything throughout the entire game.
Oh, I did.
I did as well.
I did. Mainly
I did.
because I would be running towards the screen and just firing, hoping to hit something off in the distance.
Yeah, but you doofus has got hardly any extinction points compared to me, so I was racking up the combos.
It's all right. I got 360,000. I
So
think you got like 400 something.
I ended with 100. Well, I spent a lot too on ammo, so that's where a lot of my money went.
I bought some guns.
You can
I bought
purchase
everything.
You can purchase these things called silver cards, which allow your combo to increase quicker. I never bought it.
Yeah, I think it also means that there's less. You get more time between killing dinosaurs,
Yes.
so that your combo stays up. Yeah.
Yeah.
The two for both characters, I use the solid cannon for Dylan almost exclusively,
The what?
and the
Oh,
heavy
really?
assault
I
rifle.
barely used that one.
Just because a guide recommended it, and a heavy assault rifle for the for Regina.
So
I think you used the handgun, didn't you, Eric?
I went standard issue handgun with Regina the whole game. So you have your main weapon and you have a sub weapon, which is kind of neat. Regina's sub weapon is this stun gun, and Dylan's is a machete. And they do
never
interact
use
with
the
the
stun
world. They interact with the world a little bit, where if you come across a locked door, you can use a stun gun to kind of short circuit the mechanics to get into it. Dylan, you can come across doors that have vines over it. You can use a machete to cut the vines down and go in. So the paths are a little bit geared towards certain characters. But Dylan, I exclusively ran through with the shotgun because, let's face it, the shotgun is always the best gun in any game. Always.
I would never have agreed with this originally, but as I've got older, yes, it is.
It's the most enjoyable.
If you get, because particularly in a game like this where dinosaurs are rushing at you all the time, it's just incredibly useful. When they jump at you, you just blast them in the face.
And to just see Vagina running towards the screen, just dual wielding her pistols and just unloading, feels good. It feels right.
Those were Uzis, dude. She only had one pistol.
Okay, well, running towards you with one pistol firing feels right.
When you can have her with a heavy machine gun which destroys everything.
Oh, the machine gun is brilliant.
I do kind of wish I would have upgraded hers.
Actually, the heavy machine gun isn't as good as the Uzis for dealing with raptors because you can target two of them at once.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
See, the assault rifle was good for the sea dinosaurs.
Yes, they killed them in one hit, Eric.
The plesiosaurs?
Yeah.
Whatever they were. Yeah.
Literally one hit. And so you can rack up a massive combo and get about no hit bonus and get about 12,000 points in one screen just from shooting all them.
I did kind of play this wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
But so it does kind of have a little bit of a back and forth where you do one thing with Dylan, then you go back to Regina, then back to Dylan, then back to Regina. It just kind of bounces back and forth. But the first section it's kind of annoying. There is quite a lengthy bit of just aimless backtracking.
Oh, there is a first bit where
Dylan,
I think it is, go on.
Dylan makes it to the military facility. He has to run through the jungle. You're like, yeah, this is great. Just blasting dinosaurs.
And there's music as well. Music in the background.
It's super cool. A lot of neat camera angles. You get to the facility. You have to evade a T-Rex, which is cool. Well, actually, it's an Allosaurus. The T-Rex comes in later. But you have to evade him. And as you come back through that area, you have to keep continually evading him. You never know when he's going to pop up. So there is a little bit of that horror element to it. But he gets into the military facility, walks into this room, pulls a key out of the wall, and then locks himself into the room. And then just slides the key under the door. Enter Regina. You have to do everything Dylan just did so you can go pick up the key that he threw out of the door and let him back in.
Well, I have to take that key to another room and then slot that into a control panel and take another key out.
I was afraid this was going to be a bigger thing than it was.
Yeah.
There were...
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot.
There's a computer that has 5 colors, and you can only take one color out at a time. I was terrified we were going to have to backtrack to this and grab different keys.
Colors.
You look at that computer once.
Yes.
To get the black key to
it
go
implies that was meant to be more at one point, and they couldn't.
Yeah, very strange.
Because otherwise, what's the point?
And then once you get to the ship as Dylan, you actually you have to go back through the jungle again, like pretty far back.
Oh yeah, you have to continually run back through this. But as you get Regina, then you have to buy the flamethrower so you can go through the poisonous swamp.
Yeah.
Also very good for killing the Allosaurus, the flamethrower.
Yes, very good. The flamethrower is very ideal for those.
I didn't
guys,
kill the
Allosaurus. You get about 16,000
forever.
points for killing that.
I didn't kill an Allosaurus till I got the chain mine.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the shotgun on those things, nope, takes like 50 shells.
Yeah, and the flamethrower just keeps them at base. Every time they come near you, shoot them with flames in the face, and it just makes them rear back. So
yeah,
it's kind of like every dinosaur has a slight weakness in this one.
Yeah, it's
cool. It's cool.
But Tom, you're right. As soon as you do this big section with Regina, and then you take control of Dylan again once you're back on the patrol ship, and you have to go back all the way to just where you came from again.
Yeah.
So there, at the beginning, there's this stupid
kinda
back
sucks.
and forth.
And there is a section when you're going back through that jungle with Dylan where there's a waterfall and there's a key card that comes down from there. You can very easily miss that.
But that key card won't appear until
Unless
until you take the patrol ship over to
Yes.
the third energy facility, and then
Yes.
find that the door is locked. And then a guy has a little he has a little file that says, "This is where the key is hidden." And
Yeah.
It's handy that he died right there, mind, so he could tell you.
and he took a picture of where it was hidden from exactly how it looks in the game.
yeah.
But the
So considerate.
the patrol
If only
ship
everybody died this way with such useful information.
the patrol ship introduces the boss battle mechanic, and I love the boss battles from this game.
They're cool. They actually are really good. What was the first one? Oh, the first one was when you're kind of on rails shooter, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're on the
Yeah,
back
it was.
of the boat.
You use the turret on the ship and you shoot those long-necked dinosaurs and the
Yeah.
pterodactyls where they
I thought
come
that was
flying
cool.
towards you.
the plesiosaurs.
It's really unexpected. It's just, like I say, this game is the exact opposite of everything that I hated about the original, and I actually really enjoyed this one a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, me too.
Very, very short, but incredibly enjoyable just to
It
clip
visually
through.
looks pretty good too. Like it kind of holds up quite well for that era of games. Like it doesn't look bad.
I thought it looked.
I don't know.
pretty
I
good.
don't know if it was because I was emulating. It didn't look great, but
Okay.
I played it on my Vita.
I mean, I got
Oh.
it stretched to 16.9 and all that.
Oh, did
so
you?
That won't help, but
That'll be it then. God damn it.
But yeah, you go back, grab the key, then you have to come back to the third energy facility. And is this where you meet the shrouded
Helmet?
people, the helmet people that shoot these
Oh.
frisbee explosions?
that's earlier on.
That was a
You
little
meet
earlier.
them, meet them when you get to the research facility just outside,
That's
and
right.
where the bridge is out,
Yeah.
and they shoot weird disc mines at you, which are incredibly easy to dodge.
Could you imagine
Yeah.
having a gun that shoots bullets slow enough for people to just hit it out of the sky with a
Like,
knife?
Yeah, the way that she tumbles out of the way is like it's kind of comical.
Half-assed effort, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, and these weird helmeted people, you capture one of them and chain them to a pipe, and she can't speak for some reason.
Her name is
Oh, yeah.
Paula.
You don't find that out till later, though.
Yeah,
She's
you're right,
spoilers.
because she can't talk.
No, she just grunts at you in annoyance.
Yeah. Let's see. After
Oh, well, you know what we haven't talked about? The ridiculously stereotypical Indian guy. Well,
Oh,
he looks
yeah.
like, he looks like a Native American Indian, but he talks like a ridiculous 90s surfer dude, and it's the weirdest thing in the world.
he's like if Turok were a surfer.
Yes. It's a
Oh,
good
he's
way to put
bad.
it.
His death at the end was hilarious, though.
I didn't care in the slightest. I was like, yeah,
He's
he's
like,
gone.
"I'll save you, Dylan." Ah, and then he gets eaten by the T-Rex and taken away.
Did you guys read any of the so you pick up a lot of files in the game,
Yeah,
these notes and stuff like that. Did you guys read most of them? All of
I
them?
did. The writing is terrible.
The writing is
Oh,
so bad.
God, it's atrocious.
Not only is it sometimes just bad, like just, generally, but it's also just grammatically all over the place too.
Well, and even the letters.
I think some... Sorry, Eric, go ahead.
the letters weren't even like, it didn't line
Yeah.
up. It looked like
There's-
somebody with dyslexia had just kind of like assembled this out of pieces of newspaper.
I
it
got
looked
the
like-
idea that somebody, one person had written some of it and another person had written some of it because there was very different styles. Like some of them made more sense than others, and some were just all over the place.
Man, back in the day, just wasn't taken seriously in games, was it? Writing sometimes
No.
for some of these games.
No.
I don't have text logs than you goons, honestly.
You goon.
you can't help some people.
Oh my god.
So,
I actually flew to the wrong place to begin with when you first take control of the ship.
Oh, you went to the jungle.
You have two different places you can go. You can go to the third energy facility or whatever it is, and Edward City.
Oh, yeah.
I went to Edward City, and there were two
Also,
doors.
what a shit name for a city.
Ed City.
Should have called it Het.
So I was kind of confused to begin with, like, oh, why is Dylan here on the ship telling me to like explore the surroundings, and then when I try and explore, everything's locked? That was very strange.
Gotta go back and find that waterfall.
No, I just had to fly to the other place.
No, and then go find the waterfall.
No, I just flew to the wrong area. I went straight to the city instead of the facility.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
You're gonna find that other place to find that waterfall.
Well, you had to go get the waterfall after that.
I did.
Dino, shut up, man.
One thing he didn't...
I'm gonna come over there and pop his heels out that ground. Honestly, doing my head in.
One thing to note about
It's a
Paula
nightmare.
is that she's super hostile towards Regina, but she acts quite differently towards Dylan,
Yes.
which is,
Weirdly sexual.
I guess, a bit of foreshadowing, as much as it can be.
Yeah.
So
There's
she...
there's not really much room for plot development in a 4-hour game, is there?
There's really not. But she ends up leading Dylan to this base where she finds a recording, or she shows him a recording that talks about what really happened. And this is just based off of memory and a little bit of what I'm reading here.
Got it worse than we thought, Tom.
Yeah, it's bad. So in 2000, in the game in 2009, there was some sort of overload that caused a time alteration to that particular era.
Man, if they'd maintained that power plant properly, none of this would have happened. Honestly.
They should have just employed Regina the whole time. But yeah, it caused a time warp to the Cretaceous area, and that then took an effect on everything and altered the Earth's history, preventing the human race from ever existing. So to fix that, there's this organization that decided to transport all the creatures to a similar environment 3 million years in the future where they could thrive. Then they would be sent back to their own time, 65 million years previously, after the crisis has passed, which was dubbed Noah's Ark Plan. But during that, there was another overload when they were about to go back, and the time gate was destroyed, and the team was stuck with the dinosaurs. So all of the survivors were killed, but the children were saved and put in this sort of cryostasis where they were kept alive and unfortunately lost the ability to speak. And you discover that Paula is one of these survival children. And one of the members of the team that came to the future was, in fact, Dylan himself. And you discover that Paula is actually Dylan's daughter. So the hologram that Paula is showing Dylan is of himself in the future, talking to himself about what to do.
Dun, dun, dun.
If that makes any sense.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, it got time travel-y and a bit weird. Yeah,
it got unnecessarily convoluted, really. Didn't
yes,
it?
it didn't need to be. Dinosaurs are here.
It's a storyline that's there. Shoot
Yeah.
dinosaurs, do things. What about that underwater section though? That was kind of cool.
I was about to say, I actually really liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was
being an
really cool.
underwater level, I
completely
didn't
unexpected.
hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you what do you have? Do you have a gun that shoots out saw blades, or what is that?
It's a nail gun.
Is it?
Yeah, then the first one's a nail gun, and then you can upgrade to the aqua grenade, which you need to do to shoot the column of stone so that you can access the upper
Yeah,
levels.
there's basically this underwater section. You find a diving suit, and the third energy facility is down under the water for some strange, unapparent reason. But you have to go down there and you walk around in this diving suit. But because you're underwater, they have completely different mechanics. You have a jump button, so you can fly up in the air for a little while, and you have a circle button which propels her backwards and also deflects enemies, which is kind of cool. But it's an entirely different environment.
And there's definitely a slightly more horrific edge to it when you're underwater, because you'd be because you feel like you're vulnerable anyway, because humans naturally, obviously, not you're not great in water, and you're in this cumbersome suit. And then when you're walking around, you sometimes
know
see
about that, Tom, don't you?
Exactly. You see the sometimes when you come around corners, you see the shadow of like one of the swimming dinosaurs, like before you actually see them. I thought that was really cool. And but for the most part, like it's, because you've got kind of unlimited ammunition in that part, you don't really feel too,
which is strange as well.
Yeah, you don't feel too under pressure, because you can just spam the shoot button. But the whole point of that being underground, I believe, is to turn the power on.
Yep, that's your one.
So a bit of a throwback to Dino Crisis 1.
So there's a weird power mini game sort of thing where you have to turn the power on, you have to press a button and then it activates these switches around you and you have to maneuver to them and hit them with Regina's stun gun to get them switched on properly. But then different ones blink off at different times. And you're still using sort of tank controls on this game, so it's easier said than done to do this right.
Yes, I found it took me about 3 or 4 attempts because for that exact reason. Because the controls are very responsive in that she moves quite quickly, but when you're in a close environment like that, trying to move like precisely between the lights can be quite difficult. So it took me a little while. I was playing with a DualShock 4.
Just to jump back a minute, I was really... What's weird about the helmet people is they shoot at you, but for no reason is this ever explained in the plot. They just want to kill you for no reason.
No, they do. It does explain that. So
does it?
Yeah, the fact that they have been in this sort of stasis allows them to coexist peacefully with the dinosaurs. So when they see you showing up killing the dinosaurs, it's actually them defending the dinosaurs.
Oh.
When did I tell you that?
I didn't know that.
I believe it's in one of the files that you can pick up. But I do remember reading that.
I think throughout the game there's 9 hidden dino files which have facts about all the dinosaurs.
Yes.
I don't know how many other files there are, though.
I think there are 11.
But I think you only have to collect the dino files to affect your rank at the end. I think if you collect them all, that gets your rank up slightly. Because it's on the count. It's on the counter thing. How many you found? I think I got 6.
9. I got 9, 8 or 9.
Because some of them are hidden. Some of them are
really
like
well
not
hidden.
Visible.
Yeah, you got to search a dead body. Some of them are just sitting on a counter.
Yeah.
So, some of the other boss battles, the Triceratops run, that's a fun one. So another on-rails one where you're on the back of a Jeep. And you've got 2 Triceratops running at you.
I liked the underwater one as well.
What was that one?
The big dinosaur, the big like Leviathan thing where you have to jump up the things.
Yeah, you have to jump on the platforms.
Yeah. He was pretty easy if you got into the top of a certain one, as long as you could see him coming from either direction.
Yeah. You could just...
I found that one more janky than the rest. It was harder to hit him.
It was. I just spammed the aqua grenade because I had enough ammo.
The flare gun one was really neat, where you and Regina and Dylan have to work in conjunction with each other. So one person's in this turret, and the other person has a flare gun, and you're down on the ground with the 2 Allosaurus, and you have to fire off a flare gun, and then the other person will launch in mortar shells or ammunition or whatever it is to give you time to run away. And then you get to the next turret, and then you have to cover them as they come through, so it's kind of this leapfrog effect.
Yeah. That was in Edward City itself, wasn't it?
Yep. That was actually before the Triceratops.
Yeah.
And then
what about the bit where you're in the tank?
That was so cool.
Oh, the tank.
Oh, I love that one. So it's kind of a top-down perspective. It almost looks like a little bit of an RTS where you're driving this tank through this really convoluted, complex path with a T-Rex chasing you, and all you have to do is just keep shooting him to slow him down and get you through to the other end.
They just went with this one. They just went completely balls to the wall arcade action, didn't they?
It's so good,
ridiculous, and
it's so
daft as
good.
they could. But I loved it so much. I honestly think this is one of the better games we've played in quite a while. For me.
I would agree, and
I think so too.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I mean, if you've got, like I said, it took me 4 hours. I blitzed through it in one night, and it's just a good time.
It took me 4.5 because I spent 30 minutes grinding to get enough money to buy the chain mine because I was a little low on points. But yeah, 4 hours is a solid
It
go.
took me almost.
It would have actually took me less time, but I had to, when I had the chain mine, I had to backtrack back to a shop because I used all my chain mines on those new dinosaurs where you flip them over and you can shoot them in the stomachs. And you need the chain mine to blow up some rocks which are in your way.
Did the same thing. I ran out.
Because you don't have many chain mines. You have like 20.
You get like 10 or 20.
So I went and upgraded it to 70, I think.
Yeah.
70.
That's amazing.
That's great.
Did you guys buy the anti-tank gun?
Yes.
Because that was ridiculously powerful.
Did not. I bought the rocket launcher.
Yeah, okay.
So the last boss is the Gigantosaurus.
Yeah, you can't actually kill him. I've spent ages shooting him.
Yeah.
Like,
you just have to run around that catwalk.
I have to use the environment, yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting...
Big lad him, wasn't he?
It was an interesting battle. You have to... What do you have to do? Kick on the gas and then fire at... I just fired at it with a pistol, and it lights it on fire,
Yes.
hits him, run over to the next one. Just run back and forth, and it takes a few times.
I used the stun gun.
To light it on fire?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I never did that. It surprisingly wasn't too difficult. I thought
it kind of wraps up incredibly suddenly and quickly, I think. Everything's just happening at once, like missiles are going off and for reasons, and
I wonder if it was supposed to be longer.
I don't know. The game definitely does have quite a bit of replay value. You know,
there is I think if you collect all the files, I think you can hit continue and start the game from the very beginning with all of your weapons and everything and unlimited ammo.
Yeah, if you get
something like that.
If you get an S rank, I think you get a new card which gives you infinite ammo, which you basically have anyway. So
a new game plus type thing.
Yeah. And then if you finish the game, it also unlocks a thing called Dino Coliseum, which is just basically you fighting dinosaurs in a coliseum.
And that's why you want to have as many extinction points at the end as you can, because you can purchase different characters. So I only had enough to buy the tank, which is the highest level. I think you needed 175,000 and I had 191. So I bought that. I didn't go into Dino Coliseum, did you?
No, I didn't actually.
I
I didn't really get time, but
I did read about it though. Because I think you can play the game through as a dinosaur.
Can you?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's one of the characters. Yeah,
like play through the actual game.
No, the Dino Coliseum. But
no, the Coliseum. Otherwise, that would be hilarious. Just having a shotgun.
Yeah, it would.
No, it's neat.
Let's see what it says it is here. Don't know. Doesn't say.
What about the bit right at the end of the game where you the Gigantosaurus comes back and you have to activate a handy orbital defense system to fry it, basically Gears of War style?
Yeah.
The Hammer of Dawn.
Oh man. So health is plentiful in this game. It is everywhere. But I was always running around with no less than 6 to 8 large med packs, and I burned through every one of them on this final battle.
Yeah, because it's just set up that you can't avoid the dinosaur no matter what you do. It attacks you. It basically tracks where you move and then attacks instantly at that point, no matter where you move to.
Right.
But thank God that they had an item quite early on where it stopped the bleeding mechanic, because that was damn annoying.
Yeah,
it was
undersuit or something.
Yeah, if you get knocked down to red health in the early game, your character starts bleeding and your health will decrease gradually. It does wear off eventually, but unless you have something called a homeo pack or something, a homeostasis pack or something like that.
Yeah, you can let it go to 0 and you won't die, but the next time you're hit, you will. So you could let it go all the way to 0 and then use a health pack, like a medium health pack, to get back up to full health.
But also,
I did not die once in this game.
Dying doesn't have much of an effect because I always ran around with
you can use a rescue pack,
the resuscitation pack. Yeah, I died. I admit I died the first time you went into the part of the jungle that has the poisonous flowers because I didn't remember that I had the flame gun. So I bought the flame gun and then stopped playing for 2 days and then came back. I'm like, all right, here's where I need to go. And it just didn't click on that I had that. So I'm in there thinking, all right, do I just need to run through here as quick as I can, or do I need to shoot these plants? And I died 3 times and got the game over. I'm like, that's
no,
right.
Tom, sorry, I did die right at the end with the bit with the Gigantosaurus where you go and activate the system. If you don't run over that bridge quick enough, it kills you instantly. That's where I died.
Oh, yep. I fell off that because the camera angle fucked me up.
Yeah, it's instant death. If you don't move fast enough, you die.
Oh, because when you were halfway across the bridge, the camera switches the other side. Yep. Yeah, I remember that. I died there too.
What's quite handy about this game is if you give R2 a tap, you turn around very quickly.
Yes, that is very handy.
And I didn't get to use that because I was playing on the Vita, and anytime you have anything mapped to the back touchpad, you're always accidentally touching it. So I mapped it to the bottom right corner of the front touchscreen and just kind of forgot about it.
Oh, that is difficult. Yeah, I forgot about the whole R2 thing.
It's a useful mechanic.
Triggers. Yes, it is. I think the old Resident Evils have it too, but I find I never use it. But Dino Crisis, I did, because everything's much quicker. The dinosaurs don't mess around; they're straight on you if you're not careful. And if they grab you and walk around with you, like you could lose a big chunk of health.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys find? I was confused for ages on the bit where you have to, one of those tiny dinosaurs steals your key card, and you have to kind of track him down and close various vents to try and corner him into a cage. But I didn't really know how to do that. Like, it took me a while to figure it out.
It was really janky. He kind of didn't move where you wanted him to move. Thankfully for me, what he did is he ran straight back into that corridor he came from, ran into the vent, went into the room. So I just shut all the vents in that room to prevent him from getting out, then herded him into the cage.
Yes.
But before that, I herded him around that room a bit where he first came out of, and then he thankfully went in eventually. But a bit of a tedious section in the game overall.
It was. He just wasn't,
Because originally I didn't go around that way to find the dinosaur. I went around the other way and went into the rooms, and I found the vents, and I was like, do I have to close these now for some reason so Regina can get through later?
I was finding this was happening a lot in the game. I was finding stuff too early or too late that wasn't matching with my current objective. Like, I would find files where I'd be like, hey, Bob, like, here's the, like, you got to make sure that you, when the 3 switches go on, that you turn, it's basically saying, he's giving you the solution for the mini game as Regina to switch, to use a stun gun to switch all the lights to green. But I just did that through just guesswork. And then I find the file that explains that you have to do that.
That was such a shit mini game.
This kind of thing happened a few times to me, yeah. Yeah, it was.
How many tries did it take you guys to do those? Where you have to...
The first one took me 3 times.
Yeah.
Just the once.
Of course.
Of course it did. Damn you.
So much better.
How many times did it take you?
Twice on the first one, and I got the second one first go just because I knew what to expect, and I found a spot where, so it's on 2 walls. If you stand a little ways back and you face into the corner, your stun gun can reach all of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So cheated the system a little bit there. End of the game, after you kill Gigantosaurus, you have to... Okay, so when the dinosaurs attack in the beginning, the time gate and your boat get destroyed, so you have no way to get back to your own time. And they're thinking, oh, we need to try to rebuild another time machine here from this Cretaceous era shit laying around. It's like, all right, well, good luck with that. But anyway, when you see future Dylan talking to present Dylan, he says there is a time gate that can be used exactly once to get you back to your time. And
that old chestnut.
Yeah. I forget, does Dylan actually go back?
No, he sacrificed himself. He says, Regina, get yourself in there.
And she takes Paula with her.
Yes.
No. Paula is crushed under a filing cabinet.
Oh, she dies. She dies a hideous
So,
death.
Dylan's
that's right.
like,
Dylan's
Dylan's
dies
like,
with her.
I'm not leaving her. You
Yeah.
go ahead, and then you come back and get us, and then everything explodes.
Oh, that's right. Okay. What a good dad. What a-
Teasing Dino Crisis
He's
3,
good.
which has
Oh,
never came to
yes.
fruition.
Yeah,
It
it
did.
did.
It came out on Xbox.
And
Did
PS. Yeah.
It just never came out on PlayStation 2 because
I did not know there was a Dino Crisis 3.
Oh, yeah, dude. Dino Crisis 3 came out in 03 for the
Continue
Xbox.
the story.
Apparently, it would have been good had the camera not been so bad.
Set in the year 2548. 300 years since Earth lost contact with the colony ship Ozymandias en route to a planet near Jupiter.
And I tell you what, right? If you thought Dino Crisis 2 was much different to Dino Crisis 1, 3 looks like they've reimagined the whole thing again.
That's right. I remember they're like, how the fuck are there dinosaurs in space?
Oh, yes, I have heard of this because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I might be willing to give it a go.
Add it to the list.
I
What
would
did it
be
get for
willing to try
reviews?
it.
It got 6 out of 10s.
I've said of Death Stranding, to be fair.
That's true.
I
That's
don't trust
true.
these numbers anymore.
That's
you hear that,
true.
Mike? I don't trust them numbers.
Numbers don't mean nothing.
He doesn't care. He's too busy playing Stadia.
That's why he's not here today. He's just too wrapped up.
Fair enough. I guess Destiny is not a terrible game, but it's not for me.
So, yeah, we this was just kind of an audible punt, and
Yeah,
it was a good, what a good game.
Who
Yeah, it
knew
was-
we should maybe throw the game of the week to the community more often? It's like they know things.
Maybe. Wow. Because we were supposed to be doing Metroid Prime, which I wasn't super keen on, but I think Mike has pushed that into next year for us.
Oh yeah, he has. Yeah,
Mike's impending move is kind of threw everything off for this year. So the rest of the plan is basically Resident Evil 4 Game of the Year, right?
yeah.
Yep. So,
He's so enthusiastic.
yep.
Yeah.
Do we have anything
I'm
else you want to
thinking
say about Dino Crisis before we move on, though?
I don't think there's much more to say, really. It's a
I don't
4-hour
think
game.
so.
It's infinitely better than the original. And
I strongly
play it.
recommend this game. It is a good little romp.
Yeah, I think it's one of the better PS1 titles that I've played in recent years.
No, I agree
Definitely.
with Dan, and I don't think that's really much of an overstatement. It's like it's probably one of the more entertaining games we've played for the show in recent memory.
Yeah,
It really is a good time.
I was saying that the other day with you guys. I was like playing. I was only an hour and a half in, and I thought, you know what? I can already tell this is one of the most fun games we've played this year.
yeah.
it was pretty much instant for me, Tom, because I kind of sat down with it thinking, I'm going to hate this because I hated the original. And as soon as I realized the control scheme was better and that it was run and gun and it had arcadey elements, I was in my
Yeah.
element. I really was.
It was
Yeah.
it was the absolute perfect length. Had it dragged on
Yeah.
past 6 hours, it like, all right, this is overstaying its welcome. It's cool. It's a ton of fun.
the
Yeah.
arcadey point system give you a means
Yes.
to keep playing. Like kind of, I want more points. I want to get all this new stuff. It's exciting. It's more fast paced than the original, and it makes it stand out more against Resident Evil, where it was originally a Resident Evil clone.
I do think there is a bit of replay value to it as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. You get a sexy loading ending screen with Regina on if you finish it a second time. Apparently,
I got the
the
screen with
90s.
Dildo in his 90s sports car.
yeah. What was that about?
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Did
yeah.
everybody get a B rank at the end?
I got
Yeah.
a B rank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
B as
finished
well.
much later than you guys though, time wise. I think I wasted too many time, and sometimes I would pause the game and just leave it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I did almost 6 hours.
So
but you
I
can
was
do
surprised,
it in 4.
even by my standards, I was surprised how quickly I got through this one.
it was fast.
Yes,
It was
That's
fast.
ridiculous. You are crazy.
But yeah, Dan, you were saying about what's coming up next.
Yeah, so Resident Evil 4,
It's been a long time
and
coming.
then our annual Game of the Year show, which is always a highlight of the year, I feel.
I think this year is going to be the longest one. I think our Game of the Year 2019 will be our longest show on record.
Just
feel like
box
it's-
off the day.
I feel like it's going to be a really difficult one. I think you guys were saying this a couple of weeks ago, how difficult it's going to be to craft a top 10 of all the games we've played this year.
I honestly can't choose. It's difficult right now.
I mean,
You'll
I
choose
kind of
6
have,
hours
but
before the show.
I will. You're right.
go back through your trophies an hour before we begin.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah,
Forget what I've played. That's right.
tough.
it's going to be rough. But, I think one thing that we should put out is...
Syphilis.
No, let's not. Let's not put that out. I think we should create a list of categories that the community has come up with that want to know our favorite games of whatever category.
Oh, yeah, just make it longer. Well done.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, it doesn't need to be anything where we talk at extensive length about it.
Have you met us?
No.
Yeah.
What are we like?
Insufferable, to be honest.
Oh, good.
Probably
So do you mean-
1 out of 5 stars on iTunes, I imagine.
Cool.
Do you mean we do our standard out of 10, like 10 games that we've chosen, and then we would also have 3 games from only from shows or something? Or
I think we should do that too. I think we should do our top 3 that we've played for the show this year.
yes,
Oh, God, that's going to be difficult.
Gex,
Been another bollocks year, lads.
Zelda 2, and
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Or Mark of Cree.
Oh my god!
Oh, God, I missed that show, but I can confirm that was dire.
This year was a rough year for games that we picked.
And I think
It
we
was
thought
last year as well. We need to redeem ourselves next year. 'cause
Next
we're
year's
playing
shaping up to
shite.
be real good.
We said that last year.
No,
we did, didn't we?
We
but
did.
hopefully,
And then
it'll be all right.
Mike jumped in with Ghostbusters, followed up immediately by Dan with Gex. And like, well, that's this year's shot.
I saved it.
It
With
started
Halo.
off so strongly with Ace Combat.
Hey. Ace Combat was great.
We
Yeah, it
had
was
some
alright.
games where we were really just sadly, they just didn't quite hit it when we thought they would, like Zone of the Enders. And
Was that this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I think that's one of the funniest things that may or may not be Endors. That was so funny.
The
Classic.
Getaway was disappointing for me because I thought it'd be a lot better than it was.
That was an exercise in frustration.
Yeah. Eternal Darkness.
It was when it first came out as well.
Eternal Darkness was a kind of a big letdown.
was a little. And I get Kingdom Hearts less. So yeah, we talk about that.
Still strapped to the bottle rocket, huh?
Yeah.
So
Zelda 2 must have been a bit of a exercise in teeth pulling for you two.
if that game did not have save states and rewind, I would not have finished it.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's fair.
So I'm sure we'll cover more of that on our Game of the Year show. But after our Game of the Year show, we have our first fan recommendation in a couple of years.
Apart from this episode we've just done.
Well,
where
no.
the fans
Like
were
this was
appalled.
purely they asked us to play this, and Santos, if you remember, several months ago, sent me a big box of goodies, Sega CD games and Genesis and all that fun stuff. I offered to pay him for it, and he's like, "Nope, just play .hack infection on the show." So we will be doing that. And Tom, from what you say, that game is real hard to find in Canada.
Sure is. It is nowhere.
I think that is awfully convenient because you said, "Oh man, that's expensive. Oh, I won't be on the show that week."
I'm actually not on it. I'm not even ticked on it.
Well, you should tick it.
But also, yeah, it is actually about $35 loose here.
Weird. It's only $15 here. Complete.
I do not buy loose disc games.
It's
That's my
£10
rule.
in the UK.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for it. I've been doing a little bit of reading about it, and it seems really neat.
Is it an RPG?
Yeah, it's like a offline MMO.
Oh, Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah, sort of.
Interesting.
So that's our next month. I mean, we've got quite a bit going on. We're actually taking an extra week to do Resident Evil 4, mainly because it's a long game, but also because I will be out of the country for our next show. I'll be in Belize.
How convenient.
Yeah, needed the extra time to get through that game. I just need more time to take pot shots at Mike.
I wouldn't
It looks
bother
a-
and never see him again because he's still playing Stadia.
Some of the graphic style of Dot Hack Infection looks a little bit like Rogue Galaxy.
Oh, don't tell me that. I love me some Rogue Galaxy.
It does.
So
like,
do
just
That
look at
what a
this
game that was.
Oh,
picture. It looks a little bit like Rogue Galaxy.
Rogue. I'm gonna like that game. I can feel
Well,
it already.
looks a bit like Rogue Galaxy. I don't see the point. Why do you need two games that look the same?
This week's episode is brought to you by our wonderful Patreon sponsors, with an extra special thank you to Zach Foley, Santos Lopez, Sarah Irvine, Wes Rainey, Taylor Favor, Phil Gartside, Nicholas Bradley, James Hall, Thomas McGrew, Richard Cuttress, Jordan Lawfrey, Stephanie, Chad Schaefer, Miles Prower, Jeremy Lucas, Shannon McIntosh, and Samuel Chun.